just using the torch here to Buck's that?
Guys, my heart is beating so fast right now.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. Tonight's next unsettling moment comes from Kayla, a van life content creator who documents her raw and personal travel experiences on the road. On May 7th, 2025, she embarked on a solo drive from Chicago to Houston, accompanied only by her dog. After parting ways with her family, Kayla began her trip, juggling typical road trip challenges, minor vehicle upkeep, quick grocery runs, and a stretch of cold, gloomy weather. By the time night arrived, exhaustion had clearly set in. Searching for somewhere to rest, she discovered the nearby motel was already at full capacity. With limited choices, she opted to discreetly park in the motel's lot, hoping to stay under the radar and catch a few hours of sleep.
Made my way to the back, and I changed to something more comfortable. I had to put up the groceries because I bought Taco Bell. I know I didn't record it, but it was late and it was like right in my face. But I'm gonna put these up and make them tomorrow. Then move the dog out. Use the bathroom before I go to bed. Lucky. Hi, baby. Put these right here. I'm not sure if this is overnight. I am not getting a room for the night. So let's see if I can sleep here. I'm not sure if it's overnight. I don't know if I said that. Yeah. I don't think I could drive anymore. I'm just so tired and I just needed to rest my eyes. Go outside. Go. I think he's ready to go outside. Wait a minute. Come on. Come on. God, that was really loud. Hopefully I don't get noticed taking him out. It should be a quick one too. Ooh. But him doing that might get us caught. What are you doing? Oh, that was really loud. A little bit paranoid. Sandwiches are still cold. Rocky, stop. Move. Move. Hopefully I don't get caught. Rocky. Being really loud. Let me put this here. Rocky. Shh. Now let's go in the refrigerator. Oh, got that in one push. I'm gonna enjoy me some Taco Bell. And I'm gonna cook tomorrow. I'm too hungry and I'm so sleepy. So this was honestly a last minute thing. I drove 7 hours straight. I'm exhausted. I think we have about 8 more. Oh, bless you. I think we have about 8 more hours left when I get back home, which is really decent. You need to be quiet.
Once parked, she moved quietly through her evening routine. She changed into something comfortable, stored her groceries, and let her dog out briefly, doing her best to remain unnoticed. Every action was taken with caution. Lights kept low, sounds minimized, and movements kept quiet. She was well aware that staying overnight in a place like this without a reservation might invite unwanted attention.
What? I'm gonna take a few more bites of this. And I'm gonna bring the dog back in because I don't want to get noticed. And I don't want to be kicked out. Use the bathroom. Go. Go ahead, Rock. Oh, you just want my food. You ate already. Move. No. Come. Oh, that was really, really loud. Oh my god. Sit, Rocky. Let me show you guys how I get into the bed. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm that short that I have to get in the bed. So uncomfortable. Oh gosh. Trying to keep the brightness down as low as possible so I don't get seen. But I'm gonna try to get some rest. I got a long day tomorrow. Get up early in the morning and continue to drive.
Despite her exhaustion after a full day of driving, she took a moment to eat, check her surroundings, and prepare for the night ahead. The plan was simple: rest for a few hours, then continue her trip early the next morning. Eventually, she climbed into bed, doing her best to get comfortable. Outside, the sound of distant traffic and the occasional gust of wind created a strange but familiar atmosphere. For a brief while, it seemed like she might actually be able to rest undisturbed. But then, things changed.
You guys, there's a knock on my door. Oh shoot, it's the middle of the night. Oh, hold on, the dog sees him too. Hold on, shh. Oh, move, Rocky, move. I can't even get up here because of the dog. Move, baby.
You got a room here?
Excuse me?
You got a room here?
I was actually about to get a room. I wasn't here that long. I had to use the bathroom.
Alright. You have a room here, you got a room.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god. I'm getting kicked out. And it's the middle of the night. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna come to the back at all. I literally just got kicked out. And I have to find somewhere else to sleep. Oh my god. I'm so tired. Hopefully I can find something. Like another hotel.
Sometime in the middle of the night, a knock tapped against the side of her van. It started softly, then grew louder, enough to jolt her awake. Her dog reacted immediately, confirming that it wasn't her imagination. Gathering her composure, she looked outside to see a man standing near the vehicle. He identified himself as motel staff and informed her that she needed to leave the property. His tone was clipped and lacking warmth. He didn't give much reason, and the timing felt off. Still, Kayla didn't argue. She quickly gathered her things, started the van, and pulled out of the lot, now faced with the challenge of finding another safe place to sleep, while running on almost no energy. Although nothing escalated, the encounter was deeply unsettling. Being approached while alone, especially during the quietest hours of the night, left her shaken. It was a harsh reminder that life on the road can turn unexpectedly, and even moments of peace can be interrupted without warning. While the interaction appeared to be with a legitimate employee, the late-hour confrontation, vague reasoning, and unfriendly tone raised questions for some viewers. Was it truly just enforcement of motel policy, or something more? For solo travelers, especially women, even a routine knock can feel like a threat when it comes without context or compassion. Was this simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or could there have been a more unsettling motive behind the knock? In the world of van life, when you're most vulnerable is often when the real story begins. Let's move on to the next encounter. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. On September 12, 2024, the YouTube channel Stay Haunted released a video that took viewers deep into one of the United Kingdom's most infamous paranormal zones, Ball Boy Forest. Considered among the 5 most haunted locations in the region, this stretch of woods has long been linked to reports of poltergeist activity, alleged druidic rituals, and unexplained vanishings. In this particular outing, the team set out to locate a rumored altar said to be hidden somewhere in the dense, winding terrain. But not long after stepping into the forest, things started going wrong.
No, I think think we need to get up.
Yeah, let's go.
Right, which way? We're going back the way?
Back away so we know which way.
Right, back in the forest again. My light's having a meltdown. I don't understand why it's flashing like that. Because it's fully charged. What? Yeah, all the trees are all broken. Oh my god. It's crazy. Yeah, my thing's died. Here. Fully charged light. And it's dead. What the hell, like? Oh, I don't know what this is doing. The torch is dead. Look at this. Fully charged battery, charge of 4 left, and it's dead.
Right. We're here.
Uh-huh.
I want to get to here. So the meat was we go out here, out this tree line,
Yeah.
and then cut across. There's a big path there along the water, and then over to this building.
Okay.
And investigate that building, and then through it. Oh, there's maybe up behind it somewhere, like further up the pathway.
Yeah.
But see, originally what I had planned was we came in here and walk along this path here.
Mm-hmm.
So walk right along that, straight to that.
Yeah.
But me and you
Are we in?
walked in here and
Oh my God.
yeah, walked right in that middle of the forest.
Jesus. That's crazy.
So we need to find that.
Their lights began malfunctioning almost immediately. Torches that were fully charged began flashing erratically, or shutting off entirely. The group quickly lost their sense of direction. Trails that were marked on maps didn't exist. Familiar landmarks like rivers, dams, and stone walls appeared off course or unreachable, as if the forest itself had shifted around them. Despite their confusion, they pushed deeper in, navigating fallen trees and thick undergrowth. A persistent feeling of disorientation settled in, as though the deeper they went, the more disconnected they became from reality. And then came the voices. Faint, childlike, impossible to pinpoint. Some in the group reported hearing what sounded like children calling out or whispering from the darkness. The atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. Even seasoned investigators began expressing unease.
The little girl likes you.
The little girl! Have you heard children's voices?
Right here, you know?
Yep, I heard it.
Hello?
Right, everybody, we have now just went in to do an investigation in the pitch black in Ballyboy Forest. We're now hearing stuff. This is crazy. Oh my god, he's seen something moving. There's not many people that can say that they've...
See up there where your torch is?
Yeah.
There's like a shadow or something just walked across and moved.
Shadow?
Yeah, like a shadow figure, like dark figure moved across there. Right where your torch is now.
Yeah, there. So, we're going to do a bit of an investigation because we just didn't want to leave. Because we couldn't find, obviously, the altar and everything, but we've had some crazy stuff happen already, like I tell you that. And even on the way here, mad stuff's been happening. So, let's do this and get spooky.
I'm gonna set some stuff up.
He's just using the torch here to put the equipment out. Like, look at this here, like, when I turn around, as always, if you don't believe us, that's what I'm seeing right now. Oh my god. The camera's just like, nope. And cap all over there, there's a cap all over there, there's a music box. Oh my god. This is crazy. I'm probably going to have a sit down here.
Every step felt heavier. The forest floor had turned treacherous, filled with thick mud, sudden puddles, and terrain that felt like it could swallow a person whole. But then, something shifted. A music box the team had set up, placed as part of their investigation equipment, began playing on its own. No one was near it. No wind touched it. It activated repeatedly, often shortly after they asked for a sign. The sound cut through the forest like a taunt. What came next pushed the group beyond fear. They came across a set of small, damp children's clothes, fresh, hanging from a tree limb. No one remembered seeing them before. The group had passed that exact spot earlier in the night, and the tree had been empty. Now, the clothing swung gently in the wind, as though waiting to be noticed. Panic took over. They decided to end the investigation immediately and attempted to retrace their steps. But the forest no longer made sense. Paths had vanished. Familiar points of reference were gone. For 2 hours they wandered, trying to reach the road, second-guessing every turn, every sound. Eventually, they emerged, shaken and silent. Back in the car, there was a lingering stillness. The team looked drained, mentally and emotionally. In the outro, the host tried to explain what had happened, but even he admitted things had escalated far beyond what they were prepared for. Ballboy Forest didn't chase them. It didn't need to. It waited. It observed. And somewhere within those tangled trees, the altar remained unfound. Or perhaps it found them. The combination of environmental manipulation, malfunctioning equipment, misdirection, time distortion, and the appearance of symbolic elements like the music box and children's clothing suggests more than just folklore. Whether it's paranormal energy or psychological suggestion amplified by isolation and fear, the forest seems to warp both space and perception. Some viewers speculate that it may not be a single spirit, but rather the forest itself acting as a sentient entity. Did the team truly escape, or did the forest simply let them go? And if the altar was never found, was that because it doesn't exist, or because it doesn't want to be discovered? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Up next, another encounter that may change how you look at the woods forever. This next chilling segment follows a return to one of the most infamous paranormal hotspots in the region, known simply as the Haunted Lake. Unlike previous visits, this time the host entered the forest alone, accompanied only by his dog, Kia. What unfolded was a night marked by mounting unease, strange disturbances, and a confrontation with something that defied explanation. Before setting out, the host references an online review left by a previous visitor. The post described being chased away by an unknown figure in the woods, an account he initially questions, unsure whether it was a hoax or genuine.
I'm back. I'm alone. The only thing I got with me is my dog child. We're gonna go camp out over at the Haunted Lake there. That's a place where a lot of paranormal stuff goes down. Now, Angelo found a review of some guy. I don't know if this guy was trolling or not, but after our first time coming here, we found a review stating that some guy came and was chased out by someone lurking in the forest here. I have no idea if that's real. Kind of seems weird and odd to me, but it's a legit review. Someone wrote that. I mean, if there is people out here or somebody trying to scare people out, then we're kind of fakey. Anyways, we made it. I've been driving for about 10 to 12 minutes down this dirt path, and we finally just pulled up. I'm maybe like a 10-minute drive up the road from Haunted Lake. I'm completely by myself. No other human is with me. Angelo, in fact, I'm pretty sure he's back in Ontario as of right now, as I'm speaking, legit. And yeah, it's just me and Kia. So we're gonna take on the spot alone. I mean, I'm gonna drive up there right now, but the weird thing is we know that there is something lurking up in here. I don't know if it's a person, but I do remember when I came with Angelo, we went up to where the Haunted Lake is located, where the actual haunted stuff goes down. We were just checking it out, but I remember coming back to the campsite and our camp was ransacked. It was looted. Nothing was really taken, like nothing important, but somebody ransacked it. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. We're gonna have to keep an eye out for that. It's Kia's first time here, so what I'm gonna do is drive up to the site, set up the tent, have a little cookout, and yeah, take on the night, because man, it's gonna be another one of those nights, guys, where we don't know what the hell's gonna happen. Kia, you ready? We'll go? We'll go for an adventure. Let's go. We gotta go up. What's up, baby? What's going on? No, we're not walking that way. That's the way back. We gotta go this way.
But the eerie details remain in the back of his mind as he sets out on his journey. After traveling along a rough dirt road for over 10 minutes, he arrives near the lake, noting that he is completely alone and far from any help. Aware of the area's unsettling history, including an earlier experience where his campsite was mysteriously ransacked, he remains alert while setting up his tent and preparing for the night ahead. From the beginning, the forest feels off. The air is unnaturally still. No sounds of wildlife, no insects, just silence. Even Kia, usually reactive to animals or people, remains unusually subdued. Her calm yet focused demeanor sends the first signal that something may be nearby. As the host gathers firewood and begins preparing a simple meal, he hears strange noises echoing through the forest.
Okay, so I've been hearing something down there. It's coming from that way now. At first, I thought I heard like a Bigfoot thing down there, but there's something coming from down there. Watch out there, Kiki. We're not going down that way. It's kind of sketch because I don't want her going down there. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let you go. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Just like that. Okay. Hello?
At first, they seem random, perhaps animals. But as time passes, distinct patterns emerge. Whistles cut through the silence, becoming rhythmic and precise, suggesting intelligence behind them. They resemble call and response sequences more than anything natural. Tension builds. The sounds are followed by deep, echoing claps and an eerie, drawn-out screech that freezes him in place. He begins to question whether this is spiritual in nature or connected to something even stranger, something folkloric. A series of noises continues, including what he identifies as a vocalization commonly associated with Bigfoot reports. It's loud, guttural, and disturbingly close.
Thought I just heard a whistle from behind the camera. It's coming from a haunted lake. The lake is that way. Hello? Oh. What the f was that? What the fuck was that? Holy shit. That was a Bigfoot. Okay, back. No. Come, sit. I kid you not, that was a freaking Bigfoot call. Holy shit. That's not happening. No, that's not happening. That's not happening at all.
The energy of the area seems to shift. The fire flickers weakly. The air grows heavy. He describes a sensation of emotional and physical drainage, as though something unseen is leaching energy from him. Goosebumps cover his skin. He speaks openly about the overwhelming sensation of being watched, of something hovering just beyond his reach. The flashlight begins to malfunction, flickering at the worst possible moment.
Man, I feel... Holy shit. I feel like as soon as I pulled up and got out, started doing things here, like in this campsite, my energy started being pulled and drained. As of right now, I feel like something spiritual is it's hitting me right now. Like I have goosebumps. I legitimately have goosebumps right now. This is kind of bad. Yeah, you can see the goosebumps on me. Shit, man. Yeah, goosebumps, man. Feels like something is doing this to me. I don't know why, but it's trying to get my attention. Wow, sitting here, there's so much spiritual energy coming. So yeah, I could have heard a Bigfoot somewhere, but also right now, there's a lot of spiritual, like passed on people, probably somebody who used the land however hundreds of years ago. Man, I feel like my brain's just sideways right now. Oh, I don't know what this is.
Shaken, the host decides to cut the investigation short. His voice trembles as he recounts what happened. Whether the force he encountered was the one mentioned in the review, a lingering spirit, or a cryptid native to these woods, the experience leaves a deep mark. Unlike jump scares or staged theatrics, what stands out most is the emotional toll. The overwhelming sense of being hunted, observed, and drained by something that refused to be understood. The encounter combines elements commonly associated with both spiritual activity and cryptid folklore. The mimicry, the auditory patterns, and the environmental disruption suggest an intelligent force, perhaps something tied to the land itself. Whether paranormal, interdimensional, or biological, the behavior displayed mirrors reports from other high-strangeness locations. Was this the same entity described in that online review? Or did he stumble into something far older, something watching long before the first human passed through these woods? Whatever it was, it didn't need to show itself to be terrifying. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and brace yourself for what comes next. The following footage comes from a YouTuber known as Saucy Seth, whose content typically focuses on off-grid van life, solo camping, and eerie explorations. On October 2nd, 2024, he set out to spend the night near a site shrouded in local legends, Tower 12, an old coastal watchtower tucked inside Cape Henlopen State Park. After researching unsettling stories tied to the tower, Seth made his return under cover of nightfall, accompanied only by his dog, Stella. The conditions were grim. Constant rain, total darkness, and an oppressive silence cloaked the area.
It's like 9:30 right now, and it's pitch black outside. I'm gonna be so freaking honest with you guys. Like, I'm scared this right now. It's like just now hitting me that I'm the only person out here. Like, I'm in this parking lot, this sketchy parking lot. There's like 2 lights, and I'm the only person in this parking lot. I don't know if I'm just like, if my brain is playing tricks on me, but I feel like I can hear everything outside right now. You know, just thinking about the stories and all the experiences out here. Like, I don't know if they're real or not, or, you know, but hopefully I can just get in there, walk around, check it out, and then leave. I'm gonna be watching Stella, making sure she's good, but we're gonna do it because I said I was gonna do it. I'm here. Yeah, let's go. Stella, you ready? All right.
From the beginning, a sense of dread hung in the air. Parked alone in an empty lot, lit only by 2 dim overhead lights, Seth openly admitted to feeling overwhelmed. The stillness made every sound, however small, feel unnaturally loud. The absence of other people only intensified his sense of vulnerability.
I don't know if you guys can tell. It's raining right now. Guys, my heart is beating so fast right now. We're going down the trail. I don't know. I don't really have a flashlight. Okay, the watchtower is up here. I'm gonna show you guys Stella so you can see her, how she's reacting right now. But the watchtower is over there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's raining right now, and this is I'm not gonna lie, like, I definitely feel like a very dark energy around here. Hell nah, bro. The energy around this just does not feel right. Alright guys, I gotta get out of here. What was that? Shh.
Run.
Still. Go. Alright, so it's the next day, and I was kind of watching the video, and I noticed that you guys couldn't see, which is my bad. I did not have a flashlight, which I learned. I thought my phone flashlight was going to be a lot brighter, but you guys couldn't see anything. So next time I'm bringing a flashlight so you guys can see the whole thing. But I don't know if I was tripping or if I was hearing things, or like I said, if my brain was playing tricks on me. It was pitch black out there, and I was by myself, so I really didn't know what was going on. And also the energy there it felt so dark. Like, I'm not even playing with you guys. The whole time, all the hairs on my arms were sticking up. I had the chills the whole time, and I was just scared to death. Like, I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, that was probably one of the scariest things that I've ever done in my life. Just knowing the backstory of this place, it was scary. But with that being said, I got far away from that place, and I'm still in the little town called Lewis, but I'm just as far away from that park as possible. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next.
As he walked the trail toward the tower, heart pounding, he documented his experience. The rain fell steadily, the trail was slick, and the forest around him remained eerily quiet. Stella's behavior, nervous and alert, mirrored his own rising tension. Upon approaching the base of the structure, Seth noted a sudden drop in temperature. The air turned heavy, and his body reacted instantly. Chills, raised hairs, and a sensation of being surrounded by something unseen. The energy, as he described it, was undeniably dark. That moment didn't last long. Suddenly, something, whether real or perceived, triggered a response in Seth. Without warning, he grabbed Stella and ran, sprinting back to his vehicle in full retreat. The camera shakes as he scrambles to get away from whatever had startled him. The next day, Seth reviewed the footage and reflected on the experience. He admitted that due to poor lighting, little could be seen in the recording. Yet despite the lack of visual evidence, the emotional impact lingered. He couldn't shake the sense that something had been out there, something tied to the tower's grim reputation. He recalled how every instinct told him to leave, and how the environment felt spiritually wrong the entire time. From the intense fear to the physical sensations he experienced, Seth concluded it had been one of the most terrifying nights of his life. While no physical evidence was captured on video, the psychological weight of the environment can't be ignored. Tower 12's remote location, combined with its haunted reputation, likely primed Seth for heightened perception. That said, the consistency of physical symptoms, chills, unease, Stella's alert behavior, could also point to electromagnetic anomalies, or even the presence of something unexplainable. Many speculate whether this could have been an intelligent haunting, or even an energy imprint tied to the tower's history. Was Seth truly chased by something unseen, or did the isolation and fear simply take over? Could Tower 12 be more than just a relic of wartime history, perhaps a vessel for something darker? Let us know your theory in the comments. This next story unfolds in the depths of what's become known as Sasquatch Alley, an isolated stretch of forest long associated with mysterious activity and alleged cryptid sightings. Unlike many group expeditions, this investigation starts off as a solo mission. The content creator known as Grassman heads out alone, preparing for a multi-day stay in an area he's never previously camped. It's spring, and although the region is usually plagued by swarms of mosquitoes, thanks to a sluggish creek nearby, the conditions seem unusually calm. To discourage unwanted company, Grassman sets up 2 tents even though he's by himself. The idea is simple: create the illusion that he's not alone. One tent is used for sleeping, while the other holds his equipment, including an audio recorder and a GoPro aimed at the tree line. With years of experience and a variety of setups for different conditions, Grassman is well prepared. As daylight fades, he surveys the area around his camp. He spots bent tree limbs and footpaths near the water's edge, signs of recurring wildlife activity.
I was dead tired, so I went to bed around 9 p.m. and my second tent, I have my Zoom recorder inside there. So I set up my Zoom recorder inside my secondary tent, and I went to bed. Somewhere around midnight, I woke up to hearing what I'm assuming is my door handle on my rig. Like somebody was pulling on it, just slightly, you know, and I could hear something walking around. And I kept hearing the door handles jiggle a little bit. I have motion sensor lights set up on my rig, and one pointing in one direction, the other one pointing on the other side of the camp. Each one would go off at certain points throughout that time period. Something was walking around. I could hear it. So I slowly, while I was laying down, I slowly, you know, picked up my pistol, laid it down beside me, looked at my watch, and it was about 12:03 when I heard the thing start walking around.
He marks several locations for future trail cams. Before turning in for the night, he performs a single wood knock. Though considered controversial among Bigfoot researchers, for him it's more of a peaceful signal, like a quiet greeting to the forest. By 9:00 p.m., he's in his sleeping tent, with the recorder running in the second one. 2 motion-activated lights are positioned near his vehicle, covering opposite sides of the camp. Sometime after midnight, he's awakened by a sound, something lightly tugging on the handle of his vehicle. Still lying down, he reaches for his pistol and glances at his watch. 12:03 a.m. For the next several minutes, he hears movement nearby and notices the motion sensor lights activating sporadically. Something, or someone, is circling the area. The footsteps are deliberate, and the repeated sound of the door handle being jiggled suggests more than just wildlife. The next morning, he inspects the area. The thick grass and hard soil yield no footprints, and his game cams didn't capture any significant footage. But on the car door, he spots something strange. A small, greasy handprint with 4 visible fingers. It's not especially large, but it doesn't match his own hand either, and he hadn't touched that section since before the trip. There are no other smudges on the vehicle, just that single print. A subtle but chilling trace of whatever passed through the camp. What makes this incident compelling is the absence of theatrics. Grassman handles the encounter with methodical calm, relying on his tools, instincts, and years of experience. The handprint, though not conclusive, remains the only tangible clue, left deliberately or accidentally by something that chose to approach his vehicle without ever making its presence fully known. Was it a person, an animal, or something far stranger? And why just one handprint? Why that spot? Let us know your theory in the comments. Could you sleep through something like that? The following disturbing footage originates from a channel called Exploring the Unknown, which specializes in real-life encounters with eerie and often inexplicable situations, usually captured during camping trips in secluded or abandoned places. On September 4th, 2021, what started as a quiet evening beneath the stars quickly unraveled into something far more unsettling.
Was that a whistle?
I think so.
Footsteps by that campsite. Dude, literally just...
What the fuck?
Should we see something?
Hello?
That had to be another camper.
It's 4 in the morning. Who's gonna be up?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's fucking weird. But we're up. Right here we go. That was weird though.
Like it sounded like
Across the lake.
It
That campsite.
it came like directly across the lake, which there's no camp.
Well, it's not just our heads. That sounded...
Big, and it's weird. I don't think that's a deer. You would hear more than just that. Across the lake is a road. There's no campsites over there. I'm sure of it.
But there's a campsite like right over here.
No, that's road. Campsite's over there. Yeah.
The group had planned a standard overnight trip, but sometime after midnight, everything began to change.
Because of that weird... And you were hearing yelping. I didn't hear any of it. We heard some whistling. We hear a lot of footsteps in the trees. And then gotta hang out here for a little bit or sleep in the car.
I agree. I really don't feel safe in a hammock.
So I will say, I do not think driving away and trying to navigate our way out at 4 in the morning is the safest, just because it's so dark. We already have a broken light. That light doesn't really do anything, but we would also alert the whole fucking world of our presence if we drive away.
Better than being
We
eaten.
cannot drive fast enough. If someone's really fucking running after us or they have a quad or something.
But we have a car. And we got a headlight.
I did forget.
Mm-hmm.
It began subtly, with distant yelps, the sound of branches shifting, and an occasional high-pitched whistle echoing through the forest. At first, they dismissed it as harmless background noise, but it persisted. Soon, what sounded like deliberate footsteps neared their campsite. The group began to question what they were hearing. They searched the area briefly but found nothing. One of them pointed out that the whistling seemed to come from across the lake, a section with no known campsites. A dark suspicion started forming. They might not be alone. By 4 a.m., they were abruptly awakened by heavy rustling just outside their tent. Again came the footsteps, calculated, muffled, and haunting. The fact that these sounds came from across the lake, where no one was supposed to be, only added to the dread. Some suggested abandoning their hammocks to sleep in the car. Others were hesitant to drive out, citing poor visibility and mechanical issues with their vehicle. Still, the idea of staying put felt just as dangerous. As they packed up, headlights flickered in the distance.
I don't know.
I almost feel like I hear a quad driving.
You hear that? That.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know. I'm gonna go a little bit faster if you can.
We have absolutely everything, so don't need to hurry. I don't know what to do. Just got it.
Oh, there's a car coming.
Got the perimeter light. Just telling me that rope is not working anymore.
What's in your phone is in here?
They could hear what sounded like quad bikes revving, engines accelerating and darting through the trees nearby. What were people doing out there at this hour? And why so deep in the woods? From that point on, the group knew. Whatever was out there, it was no coincidence. Their presence might have been noticed long before they became aware of anything strange. This event stands out not because of visual proof, but due to the rising unease and the repeated signs of activity in a place where no one else should have been. The erratic behavior of unknown vehicles, the directional whistling, and the proximity of movement all suggest one thing. Whoever, or whatever, was out there might have been deliberately targeting them. Was it a group of strangers playing mind games? Or did they stumble upon something they weren't supposed to witness? Let us know what you think in the comments, and whether you would have stayed or driven into the night.
Dead body. I found a dead body. Is it a shed? Or is it like where someone's living?
big ones.
While it was raining, like, oh God! Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. On March 24th, 2024, the YouTube channel Into the Void, widely known for its investigations into the unexplained and paranormal, released a chilling video that unsettled thousands of viewers. The channel frequently explores haunted sites, cryptid hotspots, and locations with bizarre reputations. This time, the focus was on something often overlooked: storm drains. The video begins with the host seated inside his vehicle, parked on the outskirts of a quiet urban area. He outlines his plan to explore a nearby drainage tunnel, one hidden beneath the city's surface. These narrow, echoing passageways are easy to forget, but they're often perfect environments for strange and unexplained activity. The host ventured into one such storm drain, armed with only a flashlight, a camera, and a sense of determination. From the moment he entered, the atmosphere turned grim. The walls echoed with the sound of dripping water. The darkness was absolute beyond his flashlight's reach, and every step deeper into the tunnel increased the weight of isolation. As he moved forward, he noted the tunnel's gradual narrowing, which made turning around increasingly difficult. Soon, something shifted. Unclear shapes began appearing at the edge of the light, silent, humanoid outlines that lingered just out of focus. Initially, they seemed like optical illusions or shadows playing tricks. But they didn't vanish. Their slow, deliberate movement hinted at something more real and more threatening. Eventually, he reached a section where the tunnel curved and became even tighter. Visibly shaken, he paused, sensing that something was off.
Closes off a little bit. I'm really not looking forward to this. I don't know what that was. I need to take a breather. What the fuck? Nope. I'm dipped now. Fuck this shit. I don't know what that is. Oh fuck.
That's when it began. An unnatural screech, sharp and mechanical, echoing from deeper inside. Unlike any known animal sound, it carried a distorted tone that sent adrenaline surging. Another screech followed, this time louder and nearer. Panic set in. Without waiting to investigate further, he turned and sprinted back the way he came. The tunnel now felt suffocating. Every step through water echoed by the dread that something, or someone, was in pursuit. Gasping for air, the beam of his flashlight darted across the tunnel walls as he pushed himself to escape. Eventually, he burst out into daylight, physically unharmed but clearly shaken. Back above ground, the host tried to process what had happened. The noises, metallic, aggressive, almost digital, didn't match any common source. The shadowy figures? Too vague to identify but too persistent to dismiss. Viewers offered a wide range of theories. Some suggested a cryptid, possibly a rake, or something similar to urban legends like the Wendigo. But nothing could quite explain the screeches, nor the sense of being watched. Could this storm drain be home to something yet undiscovered? Something that thrives in the forgotten depths below the city? Or was it all a terrifying coincidence amplified by the claustrophobic surroundings? Either way, the video leaves a lingering question. Are the darkest things hiding out in the wild, or right beneath our feet? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Kevin, the creator behind the YouTube channel Small Plots, has built a reputation for his quiet, low-key urban stealth camping videos. Rather than dramatic production or high-risk exploration, his content focuses on real, grounded experiences in unusual, often overlooked areas: parking lots, suburban forests, and in this case, a strange, partially flooded woodland near an electrical substation. The location for this particular solo outing was remote, yet unsettlingly close to civilization. Kevin had visited the area before, even mentioning that he'd once been asked to leave while biking nearby, making stealth all the more important for this trip. As the video begins, Kevin hikes through soaked undergrowth, navigating ankle-deep water, tangled brush, and fallen limbs. The ground is uneven and slippery. Much of the forest is filled with dead ash trees, the aftermath of an emerald ash borer infestation, giving the area a decayed, almost forgotten feeling. Eventually, he selects a clearing far off the main trail and sets up his hammock and tarp. But even as he prepares his campsite, the area feels off. There are no people, no foot traffic, yet signs of human activity linger.
So there are, you just see on the ground over here, it's not recent, but some of these branches and stuff are cut mechanically. Probably a small electric chainsaw, something like that. So it's very possible. I mean, I already know hunters come back here. That's probably who it is. If the rain lets up, I will go a little bit farther into the woods. I think there are homes this way. I'm not too sure, but I think that's where they are.
Cut branches, reflective markers, an overgrown ATV path. The clues suggest that someone had been there, but not recently enough to know who or why.
The entire time I've been here, since I walked into the forest, I've been hearing this wailing sound. Like a no, some kind of animal. It's actually now just occurring to me. It might be a chicken or a rooster or something. But it's eerie. It's starting to let up a little bit, which is nice. That's the sound, the wail I'm talking about, the wailing. That has to be a chicken or something, right? Something. Kind of sounds like a rooster, like half-heartedly crowing. I'll have to boost the audio on that.
At first, Kevin tries to rationalize them. Perhaps an animal, maybe a distant bird. But the noises persist and shift. There are faint, high-pitched tones resembling wailing, and at times, sounds that almost resemble distant voices. Combined with the fog and the nearby electrical hum from the substation, it creates a deeply unsettling atmosphere. With the ground too wet for a fire, Kevin eats a cold dinner, trying to stay lighthearted. But he's clearly on edge. He frequently stops mid-sentence, glancing into the trees. At one point, he even mentions a growing sense that he's being watched. Not with fear, but with that uneasy awareness that comes when you're far from help, but not necessarily alone. The night passes quietly, but the tension doesn't lift. In the morning, as he packs up and hikes out, Kevin notices things he hadn't seen in the low light.
Oh my god, it's a boat. Feels pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I've noticed it on the map before as a potential place to camp. Yeah, something's over there. I can't see it. Let's go check out this boat real quick before I get out of here. Alright, it sounds like it's leaving, whatever it is. Yeah, it's just a boat. Some garbage, yeah. More implied trail going this way. Probably to homes over there. Some metal, some rocks. This raised area almost looks like a man-made raised area, like there was a building here at one point, maybe years ago. Maybe where's where that boat came from. Weird place for a boat. Right next to this berm that may May have something to do with the railroad that used to run through here, I don't know. Well, that was a fun little unexpected discovery. Right next to us the whole night, just a boat. Just a boat, all right.
Just off the trail, he spots an abandoned boat oddly perched on a man-made rise. Nearby, chunks of concrete and rusted debris suggest that a structure once stood here. Long gone, but not forgotten.
Is it a shed? Or is it like where someone's living? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think somebody might be staying there. I'm not gonna get any closer. I thought it looked like a big metal shed. It's not. It's like a tarp covering stuff. Okay. All right.
Curious, he follows a faint trail deeper into the woods and spots something in the distance. Initially thinking it's an old shed, he approaches cautiously. But it becomes clear it's not a structure at all. It's a tarp, pulled over what appears to be a makeshift shelter, possibly lived in. Suddenly aware he may not have been alone during the night, Kevin backs away and decides not to explore further. Respecting the potential occupant's privacy, and with growing unease, he exits the forest and ends his trip. While there was no direct confrontation, the trip left viewers unsettled. The strange sounds, the eerie silence, and the presence of a possible hidden shelter raise uncomfortable questions. Was someone watching him the entire time? Could the sounds have come from a nearby resident intentionally trying to scare him off? Or was it something else entirely? Even though nothing overtly threatening occurred, the atmosphere, the tension, the isolation, and the uncertainty made it one of Kevin's most disturbing outings to date. Is it more unsettling to hear a sound you can't explain, or to realize you were never actually alone? Sometimes it's not the weather or the terrain that makes a camping trip terrifying. Sometimes it's what, or who, is just beyond the trees and never shows themselves. What do you think was really going on in those woods? LPC is a YouTube creator recognized for his raw, immersive camping videos in some of the world's most remote and unpredictable environments. On July 16, 2016, what began as a seemingly ordinary solo trip would become one of the most nerve-wracking nights he ever recorded. The trip took place far from civilization, deep within untouched land. As with many of his adventures, the goal was simple: isolation, peace, and immersion in nature. The early evening passed quietly. No suspicious noises, no signs of danger. Everything suggested it would be a calm, uneventful night. That changed shortly after 2 a.m. Lying inside his tent, he was suddenly overcome by a strong sense that something was wrong. It wasn't a sound that woke him at first, but rather an undeniable gut instinct, the feeling that something nearby wasn't right. Moments later, that instinct was confirmed. From just beyond the edge of his camp came a deep, thunderous roar. It was unmistakable, the sound of a lion. And based on the intensity, it wasn't far. Lions rarely go after humans, but when you're alone, unarmed, and surrounded by nothing but fabric, even that statistical comfort offers little reassurance. Remaining motionless, he quietly began recording. He didn't shout, he didn't unzip the tent. Any movement might have drawn attention. He had no shelter beyond the tent walls, no vehicle, no fire, no weapon, just darkness and the breath of a predator nearby. The next several minutes were a psychological battle. Breathing softly, trying to remain calm, he waited, every second dragging endlessly. The lion didn't attack, but it didn't leave right away either. Its presence loomed just beyond the thin nylon wall, creating a sense of exposure that no camera could fully convey. Eventually, the roaring faded. The threat seemed to move away, but the damage was done. Sleep was impossible. The night had transformed from peaceful retreat to silent survival. By dawn, he emerged unharmed, but clearly changed. The experience underscored a harsh truth. Out there, you're never fully in control. No matter how experienced, how prepared, nature always has the final word. What made this moment truly frightening wasn't just the presence of a lion. It was the total vulnerability. No cage, no car, no barrier. Some viewers speculated that the lion may have been investigating territorial boundaries or was perhaps lured by the scent of food. Others suggested it might have simply been passing through. Whatever the reason, the creator's decision to remain completely still and calm likely prevented escalation. It's a powerful reminder of how primal instinct and restraint can mean the difference between a close call and catastrophe. How would you react, faced with an apex predator just feet away in the dead of night? Out in the wild, sometimes the biggest threat isn't what you can see. It's what's watching you quietly in the dark. This next entry comes from a little-known YouTube channel called Captain Oho, a mysterious account with only a single video uploaded. But that lone video stands out as one of the more unsettling solo camping encounters captured on camera. The clip was recorded on August 31st, 2023, during a solo camping trip to Lost Lake in Oregon. At the time, a major wildfire was raging just 12 miles to the west. Despite some hesitation due to the conditions, the uploader went forward with his trip, explaining that it had been a year in the making. The plan was simple: hike into the wilderness, set up camp near the lake, and enjoy some fishing. Initially, things seemed relatively normal. The air quality wasn't great, but it was manageable. Encouraged by the conditions, he began his hike toward the lake. However, several hours in, the wind shifted. Smoke from the wildfire rolled in fast, cloaking the area in a dense, choking haze. By the time he reached Lost Lake, visibility had dropped significantly. The surrounding landscape, typically serene and picturesque, now looked post-apocalyptic.
So this is a trip. We're in Lost Lake, Oregon. We're out here with the ultralight, and you can't see 150 feet out there on the lake. This is all wildfire up here right now. We're out here trying to catch a trout, but look at that. We came up and boom, we drove right into this mess. So we're gonna try to catch us some trout. We're gonna go from there. It really is the end of the world fishing up here. Look at that clearing out. Unbelievable. You can see this combination of smoke and moisture, but it is unreal up here. Some apocalyptic conditions. This is the most photographed lake in Oregon, maybe in the United States. And it is absolutely gorgeous out here when it is not the end of the world. So it's just unreal. I'm sure it's going to go something that you can fight off. Wildfire. Yeah. Let's go and cigarettes. Hillbillies.
Thick smoke hung over the water, and the air was barely breathable. Despite the ominous atmosphere, he attempted to fish, but quickly realized it wasn't worth the risk. He abandoned his plans and retreated back into the woods, where the smoke seemed slightly less intense. That's when things took a bizarre turn.
Fun fact, a year ago I came out here with my wife, and she was about to pop pregnant, and we had to stop probably a quarter of the mile back. And I'd say this is our time to head back too, because whatever large creature is back there, it's big. Let's take a look. Shh, shh. Probably fucking Sasquatch at this point.
He spotted something large moving in the distance. At first, he thought it might be a deer or bear, possibly displaced by the wildfire. But the more he watched, the less convinced he became. The figure wasn't moving like any typical forest animal, and then it started throwing objects.
Right back. This is Sasquatch country. Oh my god. Wonderful poles and garage. We are back. Hear that? The one thing that is consistently reported with Sasquatch, rock throwing. Hear that? Big rocks. Those are big rocks, dude. Dude, they're lobbing rocks at me. Big rocks. Hear that? It's hitting the tree. Woo! We're in Sasquatch country. This is not fake either, bro. They're big rocks being thrown at us right now. Huge, dude. Holy Woo! Let's move, man. Woo! It's getting too close, bro. We gotta keep it moving. We gotta keep it moving, baby. I do not want to die out here. Chunky rocks, dude. Dude, those are huge rocks. Huge. That is like no joke rocks. I don't have my gun out here. I do not want to film my demise either. Let's cook it. We gotta cook it. Jesus Christ, dude. What was that?
What began as faint rustling escalated into the sound of large rocks slamming into nearby trees. Not small pebbles, but heavy, deliberate throws, enough to make him believe something powerful was nearby. He became increasingly panicked, remarking on the size of the rocks and how close they were landing. Fearing for his safety and without any way to defend himself, he turned and made a fast retreat, navigating the smoke-filled forest with adrenaline driving every step. Eventually, he made it back to his car. Once the door shut behind him, he described the feeling as pure relief. Later, still shaken by what he had experienced, he decided to upload the footage online. Viewers quickly flooded the comments with theories. Some believed the encounter was with a Sasquatch, pointing to the rock-throwing behavior as a known trait in many alleged Bigfoot sightings. Others were more skeptical, questioning the authenticity of the events. Given the remote location, the lack of visible human presence, and the conditions caused by the nearby wildfire, it's not out of the question that a large animal, possibly disoriented or threatened, could behave unpredictably. However, the accuracy and size of the rocks being thrown suggests something with significant strength and intent. For those who believe in cryptids, this incident checks several boxes commonly associated with Bigfoot lore: rock throwing, forest territory, and encounters during solitude. So what really happened out there? Was it a close brush with one of the Pacific Northwest's most infamous legends? Or simply a case of misidentification fueled by fear and smoke-filled confusion? Let us know what you believe in the comments below. This next story comes from the YouTube channel Small Plots, where Kevin shares his offbeat camping experiences. From stealth hammocks tucked into hidden spots to fully equipped base camps in unusual places, his content strikes a balance between entertainment, practical advice, and raw honesty. He doesn't shy away from showing the difficulties of outdoor life, and this particular trip would be one of those nights that stuck with him. On November 2nd, 2023, Kevin set out for another overnight adventure. This time, he chose a highly unconventional location: the overgrown property of an abandoned hotel situated on the edge of an urban neighborhood. To avoid attracting unwanted attention, he parked his car in a busier, more secure area a short distance away. With his gear packed, he made his way on foot toward the secluded lot, adrenaline and curiosity fueling each step. But underneath that excitement, a layer of unease followed him. After all, this part of town didn't have the best reputation.
Okay, I'm getting close to where I want to jump in to the forest, kind of near those storage tanks of some kind of petroleum product. I haven't seen a soul back here, so I'm just gonna go. Hey, buddy. Okay. All right, let's go. Oh yeah. There's definitely some slip marks here. They are probably from deer, though. It's tough to tell. Isn't like a super used. Ooh, like it's overly used trail, quote unquote. Okay, well.
As he moved past some old industrial tanks and approached the wooded boundary of the hotel property, he noticed faint tracks, possibly from deer, though not entirely clear. The hotel itself, shuttered for several years, was known to have security patrols, but Kevin hoped that by camping near the perimeter rather than inside the building, he'd stay unnoticed. Still, he kept a low profile. Eventually, he found a sheltered clearing and began setting up camp. With his tent pitched, gear arranged, and a drink in hand, he embraced the quiet as the rain began to fall. The steady rhythm of raindrops against the tent added to the sense of calm. But that calm was short-lived.
Let's do a little tour of the tent, eh? As you can see, here's my sleeping pad. Not in its final configuration. As you can see, it's up on some rocks and stuff there, so I'll turn it diagonally. And then behind me is just endless darkness. As you can see, that's where my pack and stuff is. Rain's really starting to pick up. Just kind of hanging out, enjoying my space kitty. It's got to be a rain alarm for the airport right over there. I've heard that before when I've been camping in the vicinity while it was raining. And they're like, oh God! Something just ran by the tent. It was the lights in my eyes, I couldn't see anything.
At one point in the evening, Kevin was startled by the sudden sound of something rushing past his tent. Fast, heavy, and close. Too close. Instinctively, he froze, unsure whether it was an animal or something else entirely. The noise hadn't been accompanied by the usual crashing through brush that a deer might make. Whatever it was, it moved with speed, but not recklessness.
I don't see any eyes looking back. I don't think. Wait, I just thought I did. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Between the Eerie alarm happening over at the airport and whatever it was that just ran past me about 3-4 feet in front of me, I think it's safe to say I'm a little bit on edge. I'm just sitting here, letting my eyes get used to the darkness, scanning. I don't see anything. I don't see anything on the quote-unquote horizon.
Trying to keep calm, Kevin reached for his flashlight and stepped outside. Rain continued to fall steadily as he scanned the surrounding darkness. He saw nothing. No movement. No eyes reflecting back at him. But the unsettling feeling lingered. That part of the city was known for its rough edges, and the thought of a stranger passing that close to his tent wasn't comforting. He stayed alert, listening for any further sounds, but the forest remained still. Despite the creeping fear, he chose not to leave. The idea of hiking back through unfamiliar urban streets at night felt equally unsafe. So he stayed, hunkered down, hoping the rest of the night would be uneventful. It wasn't. Every sound, every gust of wind, every snapping twig felt exaggerated. He barely slept. Only when the first light of morning filtered through the clouds did Kevin finally feel safe enough to breathe freely again. But the question remained: what or who had passed so close to his tent during the night? Given the location, an abandoned commercial site in a city neighborhood known for transient activity, it's plausible that the presence outside Kevin's tent wasn't an animal at all. It may have been someone passing through, a squatter, or even another urban camper. The lack of crashing noises supports this theory. Still, the possibility of a large animal can't be completely ruled out. So what do you think was lurking just feet away in the darkness? Was it a harmless animal caught in the rain, or something else entirely? A person wandering through the shadows, or something far more unsettling? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, let's move on to the next story. This final story centers around a well-known YouTuber, Mark Wilkins, the creator behind Northeast Georgia Kayak Fishing. For over 6 years, his channel had been a peaceful corner of the internet, inviting viewers along as he paddled through rivers and lakes, finding joy and solace in the calm rhythm of kayak fishing. For Mark, it was never just about the catch. It was about reconnecting with nature and escaping the demands of everyday life. But on December 13th, 2024, what began as a calm day on the water turned into something far more disturbing, something that would stay with him forever. That morning, a cold mist clung to the surface of Lake Emery, especially in the narrow channel along the Little Tennessee River. The lake was still, shrouded in fog, and the silence was only broken by the sound of water lapping gently against the kayaks. Mark had invited his longtime friend John to join him for the trip. The two set off with their gear secured and GoPros recording, expecting another relaxing outing. The lake was familiar territory, which made the experience all the more comfortable at first. For hours, they drifted through bends in the river, casting lines, exchanging stories, and enjoying the tranquility. Then, everything changed. While paddling through a quieter stretch, the two noticed something floating near the edge of the water.
A human being?
Copy that.
Say again?
Copy. I think we got a dead body here. Yep, we do. A dead body. Oh my god, a dead body. I found a dead body. Body. Oh my god, a dead body. I gotta call the police. It's right there. God, a dead body. Call 911. I don't want to sit here and poke at it and shit. 911. I am fishing on Lake Emery and I have come across a dead body. I am put in at the boat ramp and I was going down towards the discharge, the water station discharge, and I'm kind of in between the discharge and the boat ramp, heading down towards the dam.
Okay. Are you in the water?
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. I mean, it could. I mean, it looks like a dead body. I mean, there's a hand sticking up. There's a rotted face. I don't know if it's some kind of stupid Halloween spooky thing, but I'm not touching it. So,
What was your name, sir?
my name is Mark Wilkins. It looks like it's been here for him.
5051 or 5005, your phone number?
Yes, sir. John, go up there and look at that and tell me what you think. Yeah.
Are you just at the water waiting or?
No, I'm in my boat. Oh my God, dear Lord, please rest that person's soul. I mean, I saw that hand sticking up and I was just like, is that some kind of Halloween, like, spooky yard thing that ended up in here?
Right.
Because it is small. But I looked at the face, dude. It's definitely a person. Hey, and there's shoes at the boat ramp, dude. There's just a pair of, like, little Crocs, not like a girl-sized Crocs just sitting there at the boat ramp. Weird.
What's more of a girl missing?
Yeah, it was like a young, it's hard to tell by that face. It was like a young girl, but there's no way that would decay in that fast. I mean, I don't know how long they said she was missing in that little thing, but
This looks like it's been there a minute.
yeah.
Guys, thank you. I'll call you if I need it.
Okay. All right. Hey, don't forget to check that boat ramp, dude. Those little pairs of shoes.
We got somebody.
Oh, that's creepy as hell, dude.
It didn't take long before they realized it wasn't debris. It was a body. The peaceful tone of the day evaporated instantly. Startled and shaken, Mark called emergency services. He described the scene in detail, mentioning a visible hand and a face that looked badly decomposed. Though uncertain at first if it might be some kind of Halloween prop or prank, a closer look revealed the truth. It was real. As authorities responded, Mark and John remained nearby. They had also noticed a small pair of shoes, what appeared to be women's Crocs, left near the boat ramp earlier in the day. Now that detail seemed deeply unsettling. Law enforcement quickly arrived and began cordoning off the area. The floating body was confirmed to be that of a young girl. Her identity, the cause of death, and how she ended up in that section of the river all remained unknown at the time. The shoes found nearby were believed to be hers, though it was unclear how long they had been there. Mark later uploaded the footage of that day to his channel. What had started as just another kayak trip had become something far more serious. Viewers flooded the comments with support, expressing sorrow for the girl and commending Mark and John for keeping their composure and taking the right action. In the following weeks, Mark found it difficult to return to the water. The lake, once a sanctuary, now held darker memories. Though he continued posting videos, longtime subscribers noted a change in tone, a certain heaviness in his voice and expressions. While details remained scarce, some viewers speculated that the girl may have slipped and drowned, or perhaps had been missing for days before drifting downstream. Others wondered if the shoes were left deliberately, either as a sign of distress or possibly planted. Without confirmation from authorities, the theories ranged from tragic accident to foul play. Was this simply a heartbreaking accident in an otherwise peaceful setting? Or does the isolated location and eerie clues, like the abandoned shoes, hint at something far more sinister? We may never know what truly happened that day on Lake Emery.
"80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris."
I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise.
Something just tapped on the tap.
There's my hand. Look at the size of that footprint.
Oh, shit.
Oh my goodness. See? Oh.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. This video comes from a relatively small and new YouTube channel called Degenerate Wilderness, known for its unpredictable outdoor trips, often in questionable weather conditions. Their content blends rugged adventure with a touch of chaos, making each upload feel like it could turn into a survival story at any moment. The group kicks things off at a spot called Rattlesnake in Ohio. Spirits are high. They're laughing, showing off their latest gear, like upgraded sleeping pads, lightweight chairs, and string lights bought online. One of them straps a GoPro to his chest early on, joking that at least the chaos will be recorded properly this time.
We made it to Rattlesnake down in somewhere Ohio. Pretty good. Got the string lights from Amazon. Wetsuits right there. Tarp we're gonna throw up. I just got this new, which one is it? Nemo something.
Moonlight Elite.
Yeah.
Nemo chair.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. About a pound. Not bad at all.
Very expensive though, but
yeah, really expensive. We just got, all 3 of us, upgraded our sleeping pads because the Amazon ones were not cutting it. Look at that. That's a sleeping pad.
There's a casual attitude toward the incoming weather, which at this point seems more like a mild inconvenience than a serious threat. But things escalate quickly. A powerful storm begins rolling in faster than expected.
Let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go. Christian, come on. Is this the right way?
wait, might be more left.
I think it's
right.
left. Yeah, I think it's that way. Emergency evacuation.
Evacuation.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
What started as a casual camping trip quickly shifts into a tense situation as thunderstorm warnings turn into evacuation orders. Wind gusts exceed 80 miles per hour, and flying debris becomes a real hazard. Despite the growing danger, the group tries to keep morale up with nervous laughter and jokes. They attempt to retreat to their vehicle, only to realize they left the key back at the site. With no one eager to go back alone through the worsening storm, the group decides to return together. What follows is a chaotic scramble through torrential rain, slick trails, and blinding flashes of lightning. The forest around them bends and buckles under the extreme conditions, and there's a real fear that their camp might be destroyed, or worse. Against all odds, they make it back. The site is battered, but still intact. Tents are standing, firewood mostly dry, and the string lights still glow. There's a strange mix of disbelief and relief as they inspect the damage. Later, they find out that the storm system had caused fatalities in nearby Kentucky the night before. It's a sobering reminder that nature isn't just dramatic, it's deadly. Sleeping in the car, once seen as overly cautious, suddenly seems like the smartest choice they made. This wasn't a case of paranormal activity or cryptid sightings, but the raw intensity of the storm brought its own form of terror. It highlights how quickly nature can turn from peaceful to perilous, and how ill-prepared many of us might be when it does. What would you have done in their shoes? Press on through the storm, or abandon camp entirely? Let us know in the comments, and if you've ever faced something like this, we want to hear your story. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Uploaded on July 10th, 2025, this video from the Northwest Wind documents a solo camping trip in one of Pennsylvania's most infamous Bigfoot hotspots. The creator spent 3 scorching days in a remote section of a massive state forest, known among cryptid enthusiasts for its unusually high number of sightings. The video opens with a mix of dry humor and genuine curiosity. It's the final night of the trip, and the host is visibly worn down, tired, overheated, and bug-bitten.
We are in the most active Bigfoot zone in Pennsylvania right now, and tonight we are going to try and summon Bigfoot to this campsite. So it's the last night of my trip at this lovely campsite. I've been out here for 3 days. Very moist, tired, flummoxed. We've eaten good, we've slept not good. We are out here in north central PA. I don't want to give away the state forest that I'm in. It's also along a very popular watershed with fishing and recreation and all kinds of stuff. Very, very isolated, but also a very, very big draw. If you're looking for Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings, there's a very big concentration of those in this area. I'm out in Pennsylvania all the time. I've only had one encounter in Pennsylvania where I was not sure what I had encountered. It was something that's a human. It was a noise that I could not explain that sounded very ape-like, but also from far enough away that I had no semblance of it was or what it looked like or how big whatever it was from the top of a ridge in a steep river valley, kind of like one I'm in now. Since I've already been here for 2 days, camp is already set up. I filmed another camp last night, tent set up, bed stuff. I slept in it last night. We've got the Yeti cooler with we got some burgers and dogs. So we cooking Frankie, you know, like Uncle Frank from Home Alone. I do have some firewood, so we're going to build a nice, delicious, cozy fire tonight. Finally broke down and bought myself a thermocell, and let me tell you, I did not know what I was missing out on. I've put on so much bug spray the past 2 days that I've been out here that literally like burning my eyes and burning my forehead and my hands were so moisture, chafing. And it still was not keeping them.
Still, he's determined to make the most of his time by attempting to summon Bigfoot to his secluded campsite. Located in north-central Pennsylvania, the campsite sits deep within a 145,000-acre stretch of forest, far from roads and foot traffic.
Give you a little tour of the campsite. I'm set up over here. It's literally been 92 degrees for the past 3 days out here, so very hard to sleep, very moist. Luckily, I have my USB fan. I did not put my fly on my tent just for breathability's sake. Sleeping with both doors and walls completely open. Last night was absolutely miserable. So it is what it is. I got one more night. We're going to fish again tomorrow and then go home and hopefully hang out with Bigfoot for a few minutes. Nice and secluded campsite though. Got a fire ring, which is nice. I did bring some wood. Gonna collect some little kindling and punky logs and we're gonna get a fire going after dinner. Got a nice campsite here. We are at the end of this road. The road dead ends right there. We are in a state forest. And I have the truck with me, meaning I'm able to be bougie. We've got power station in there. We've got the Yeti cooler, and we're down at the end of this road, but also down in this little hock down here. So I'm asking all of you. I don't know if I believe cold-hearted, true fact, 100% in Bigfoot or Sasquatch or some kind of bipedal primate-style creature figure that lives in small populations in desolate rural areas. I see it as being very plausible or possible. I don't say it's impossible because it's definitely not. There's a lot of videos that you could tell are fake. There's a lot of videos and photos that are questionable. And there's a lot that are like, is that real? In my mind, there's only two possibilities. Either it's real or it's fake. We haven't explored every square foot of even Pennsylvania, for example, where I am right now. So could it be out there? Yes, I guess.
While he doesn't disclose the exact name of the park, he notes it's near a popular watershed used for recreation and fishing. It's the kind of place that seems perfect for something to go unnoticed. Though the host has spent significant time camping in Pennsylvania, he recalls only one moment in the past where he heard a sound, deep, guttural, and unfamiliar, that left him questioning what it could have been. That memory adds weight to this trip, despite the playful tone. With camp already set up from the previous night, he takes viewers on a quick tour. A small fire ring, scattered gear, and an intentionally Spartan tent setup to allow airflow in the sweltering heat. To fend off the relentless bugs, he introduces a device he just purchased, a portable insect repeller, which, according to him, is working surprisingly well. As part of his experiment, he places an apple high in a tree and half a hot dog nearby, traditional offerings often mentioned in cryptid folklore. These simple food items are meant to attract attention from anything, or anyone, lurking in the woods.
Something just startled me up. I don't know what it was that woke me, but I was having deep, vivid dreams, and all of a sudden I was just wide awake, and I heard something I want to say sounded like wood knocks, very close, maybe a couple 100 yards up the hill, like close though. I thought I heard it once, then I heard it again. Like, go back and watch my wood knocking, that's what it sounded like intentional wood knocking sounds. I haven't heard it since, but it's 100% what it sounded like. Just before 5 a.m. I've actually been sleeping pretty good tonight. I did wake up to pee a few times and heard those knocks. Thought I heard what was, I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise. But nothing that felt anything close to like, it was like but it was like not a 7-foot tall hairy man sound. It's about 5:30. Light enough out right now, where I'm just gonna get up, bite the bullet. I think just laying here for 40 more minutes-ish till my alarm goes off is not gonna do me any good, so we're gonna get up and start the day.
Throughout the evening, he initiates a series of wood knocks, spaced out in intervals. According to cryptid lore, creatures like Bigfoot are said to communicate with rhythmic knocking. The host acknowledges that while he's skeptical, he's open-minded. In his view, either Bigfoot is real or it isn't, and both possibilities remain on the table, especially in places as unexplored as this. In addition to knocking, he also tries other common signaling tactics, banging rocks together and making vocalizations known as whoops. Though the tone occasionally borders on parody, the effort appears sincere. As night deepens, the atmosphere subtly shifts.
They're both still there. They're gone. Well, that gives me the Willie McGillies. They're both gone. The apple was up there. The hot dog was right here. That gives me the creeps, big time. It's daybreak, and I have more creeps than I did at any point during both of these nights I was out here. Let me see if the apple's down in these bushes or if something, maybe it fell, maybe something tried to take it and it went down, but I just got like a chill down my spine. So let's be realistic here. Odds are it was a squirrel or a raccoon or something that could easily climb the tree very much stealthily and quietly and took the hot dog or the apple off the branch. But just knowing that they were there, you know, about, I mean, you see how far behind me I was camped, you know, 100 feet, 150 feet, give or take. They were there and now they're not. I was convinced that they would still be there. That
in the early morning hours, he's abruptly woken from deep sleep. Something startled him, and moments later, he hears what he believes to be two distinct wood knocks echoing from a nearby ridge, closely resembling the knocks he made earlier. While brief and unconfirmed, the experience was unsettling enough to keep him alert. By dawn, the real surprise comes. Both the apple and hot dog, placed in separate and visible locations, are gone. While raccoons or squirrels are the logical explanation, their silent disappearance overnight causes genuine discomfort. He admits he felt more uneasy seeing the food missing in daylight than he did at any point during the night. Despite attempting to laugh it off, there's a lingering uncertainty. No tracks, no noises, just empty space where something used to be. Though no definitive evidence was captured, the sequence of events, the wood knocks, the disturbed sleep, and the missing offerings align closely with reported patterns in Bigfoot lore. Still, nothing rules out the possibility of common wildlife. It's this ambiguity, the space between fact and folklore, that makes the encounter compelling. Could the knocks and missing food truly be signs of something watching from the forest's edge? Or was it all just coincidence and hungry animals playing their part in a larger myth? Let me know what you think in the comments. On July 14th, 2025, Exploring with Bear returns with a new overnight adventure in a place ominously referred to as Psychopath Bigfoot Forest. This time, he's joined by his wife Tiffany, who hesitantly agreed to revisit the location after a frightening encounter during their last trip. As night falls and they settle inside their tent, the mood is initially lighthearted, filled with banter. But it doesn't take long for things to change.
Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. For tonight's adventure, my beautiful white... Take two. Wolf? Was that a wolf? Welcome back to another adventure, fam. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jared Bear. Tonight, me and my beautiful wife, Tiffany, have come back to Psychopath Forest, Bigfoot territory. I can't believe she agreed to come out. Why did you agree to come out with me again?
I didn't.
Well, holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving.
A deep, low growl, too close and too unnatural, echoes just outside the tent. Branches crack nearby, followed by the sound of deliberate, heavy footsteps. Bear quietly points out that whatever is out there is large, and circling them.
So I am going to go out a couple times throughout the night and get some different shots of the forest, and I'll put those up throughout me and her. We're just going to stay in the tent then and find out, if anything happens. Last time our tent got hit.
What if it's just like a homeless person living out here,
I thought of that.
A lot of homeless people have... Never mind. What the freak?
Something just tapped on the tent. I don't know, but that was definitely a tap on the tent. I hope that came up on camera. This is what's spooky too. So we can at least see this side because we've got some fire going still. But this way, we got that side open, but we can't see like what's on that side. And they can see right in at us. So that's sort of spooky. Yeah, they can see right in on us.
They remain in the tent, debating what the noise could be. Is it a wild animal? A person? Something else? Bear recalls that during their last visit, something had physically struck the tent. Tonight, it feels even more unsettling. Then it happens.
Let's hear it.
What? Bigfoot, my boy?
Bigfoot, my boy.
Jerry, I feel like the light is blinding me. I can't see a thing.
Nope, you are correct. That's how it feels to have a light at night, yeah. You can't see anything around you. Yep.
Okay, so, and that's another scary thing. If something were to happen and we were attacked, I would have no sight, no vision.
But I'm out here, so you should feel good.
Is it? Well...
You'll hear me get attacked before anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
Whoop!
Whooping.
That's like the girl version. What if he's like, wants to mate?
People's commented that before. Like, what if it's like a mating call? And you're like inviting them for a good time. Whoop! No, we don't want that. We do not want that. We just want to hear that come back to us.
A distinct tapping sound on the tent's fabric. both of them freeze. The fire outside illuminates only one side, while the other side is left in complete darkness, fully exposed to the woods. They argue whether to turn off the flashlight, realizing that the light might make them more visible from the outside. Distant snapping sounds continue. At one point, Tiffany lets out a Bigfoot-style whoop into the forest. It's meant as a joke, but Bear nervously wonders aloud, what if that's an actual call? What if it's being answered?
Holy smokes, that's a frickin' growl, man. Right outside the tent. That was a frickin' growl. That sounded so mean. You can hear it moving. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I'm glad Tiff didn't hear that, man. I just about grabbed my pants. For sure she would have grabbed her pants. Something just scraped across the tent. What in the world is that? Listen. What was that?
Later, Bear spots a faint light flickering in the woods. He wonders if someone or something is out there. The cracking of branches intensifies. Another growl is heard, this one closer and more aggressive. Bear admits it shook him. He records quietly, trying to remain calm while sharing the moment with his viewers. As the night drags on, more noises surround the tent, snaps, pacing, and the feeling of being watched. At one point, something scrapes along the side of the tent. Bear whispers for the audience to keep their eyes peeled for reflections or figures in the background. Despite the overwhelming urge to investigate, he stays put, recognizing the danger of venturing outside. The video ends with Bear thanking his viewers and encouraging them to like and subscribe if they enjoyed the adventure. He promises more unsettling explorations ahead. Some viewers speculated the growls were from a territorial animal, possibly a bear or mountain lion. Others believe the sounds and movements suggest something more intelligent, perhaps a cryptid like Bigfoot, or even a person trying to scare them. The light in the forest raises even more questions. Was someone else really out there, watching? Was this a genuine wildlife encounter, or something far more sinister? And if someone, or something, was watching them that closely, why didn't it attack? Or did it plan to wait until they let their guard down? The next unsettling clip comes from Metal Detecting in Alaska, a channel operated by Keith, who shares his treasure hunting adventures throughout the remote and unforgiving terrain of Alaska. On January 29, 2020, while navigating a muddy backtrail, Keith and his grandson Joe come across something they weren't expecting.
Alright, so me and Joe are coming out this old road, and we have to cross this giant little mud bog. So he crosses, and I'm just about to cross, and he says, "Hey, I thought I saw some kind of footprint." So we started looking, and check this out, guys. This is freaking crazy. Look at this. Do you not see this? Oh, there's my hand. Look at the size of that footprint. You can see the toes.
As they make their way down a rough, swampy path, the two are forced to cross a large stretch of mud. After Joe makes it across, he calls Keith's attention to something embedded in the ground. Upon closer inspection, they realize it's a massive footprint, deeply imprinted and surprisingly well defined.
Wow. I think that's like a Bigfoot footprint, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Others probably stepped here. It looks like a right foot.
And then jumped.
Over there and kept on going. Wow, that's crazy. Look, there's another big mud hole up there. Let's go up there and see if we might see another one.
Yeah.
Bigfoot!
The track is large enough to dwarf a human hand, and the shape is distinctly foot-like, complete with clear toe impressions. It doesn't resemble any print from local wildlife, and there's no sign of footwear or tread. The pair try to trace a second print nearby and speculate that whatever left it may have taken a long stride or jumped over a gap in the trail. With growing curiosity, they move further along the muddy road in hopes of spotting additional signs. The conditions are cold and the mud is thick, making the presence of such a clear barefoot impression even more perplexing. The footprints' proportions and detail, particularly the visible toes, strongly resemble a human foot, but at a much larger scale. The idea of someone walking barefoot in freezing mud seems improbable. While skeptics might dismiss it as a prank or misinterpretation, the clarity and placement of the track raise more questions than answers. Given the location and weather, one theory remains difficult to ignore. Could this have been the trace of a Sasquatch? Could this print belong to a known animal we've simply overlooked? Or is it a rare piece of physical evidence pointing to something more mysterious? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you've ever seen anything similar on a trail, we want to hear your story. On the night of June 23, 2009, a group of friends parked under a quiet, starlit sky found themselves witnessing something they couldn't easily explain. The footage, uploaded by Hale Caden, a content creator known for exploring paranormal activity and unidentified aerial phenomena, documents what appears to be a series of flickering lights hovering above them. At first glance, the lights might have been mistaken for passing aircraft or the result of camera interference, but the longer they filmed, the more unsettling the scene became. The moment begins with a view from inside their vehicle, a casual setting that quickly gives way to confusion as their attention is drawn upward.
Yeah, looks like they recorded me. Are there lights still there? Still in the same place. Can I borrow that? Oh my goodness. See? Oh. 3. And in a different position. That's cool. I should get the telephoto and then zoom.
Above them, 3 glowing orbs hover, shifting in brightness without a clear pattern. The pulsing is erratic, neither consistent nor rhythmic, and the lights refuse to behave in ways typical of commercial planes or drones. As the group attempts to adjust their viewpoint, switching lenses and zoom levels, the lights still fail to follow any recognizable movement. Most curiously, the orbs seem to change location, depending on where each person is standing. Walk a few feet in either direction, and their position appears to shift dramatically, like they exist from some angles, but not others. In an effort to better document the event, the group cycles through various devices, night vision cameras, smartphones, even higher zoom optics. But no matter what equipment they use, the lights seem to distort in frame, bending unnaturally, making it nearly impossible to determine whether they are extremely far away or disturbingly close. Despite the strange visuals, the group remains composed. There's no panic, no dramatic reaction, just quiet tension as they sit near a campfire, watching the sky. The more they observe, the more personal the moment feels. One person notes how near the orbs look through a telephoto lens, and that comment seems to shift the energy. This is no longer just weird, it's unnervingly intimate. Throughout the video, the lights appear, vanish, and reappear again, always in different spots, always slightly off. The way they pulse doesn't match any traditional flight signal or known aerial navigation. The group throws out theories, lens flares, bugs, planes, but none account for the precision, placement, or oddly organic nature of the lights. What makes this video stand out is its raw simplicity. There's no dramatic music or over-editing, just a group of people stunned into silence, recording something strange with whatever they had on hand. Some viewers speculate that this was a classic UFO encounter, pointing to the orb's erratic behavior, lack of identifiable structure, and the optical distortion as evidence of something not easily explained. Others suggest it could have been a trick of light or a rare atmospheric anomaly. But even skeptics admit that the consistent movement and multi-device recording give it a level of credibility that's hard to ignore. Why did the orbs only seem visible from certain angles? If you've ever seen lights like this, or if this reminds you of something from your own experience, share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes, it's the quietest footage that lingers the longest. We often assume we have a clear understanding of our surroundings, but sometimes, in the stillness of night or in the silence of forgotten places, it's the unexpected, the unseen movements and subtle warnings that remind us how little we truly know. This video, originally shared by Dave Explores, follows an experienced urban explorer known for venturing into long-abandoned locations. His channel focuses on uncovering real-world mysteries, visiting ghost towns, remote desert sites, and overlooked pockets of history. Over the years, he's documented everything from decaying homesteads and rusted vehicles to relics of old mining operations. On April 2, 2023, while investigating a series of deserted structures and derelict vehicles, Dave encounters something far more dangerous than broken floorboards or collapsing roofs.
This place is a snake infestation. Oh, Two snakes. I am wearing my gaiters, by the way, but still, where did that snake go? So this is that other vehicle I was referring to. Turns out it's just a cab. And looking back at what we just looked at, that's the building with the Toyota Corolla. And there's that other house right there, which we're not even going to. So let's continue onward. Like, I'd love to see what's in that house, but it's just not gonna happen. Not today. Continuing forward, we have a couple other homesteads which I'm not going in. Not after that rattlesnake.
Two snakes, one presumed to be a gopher snake, the other unmistakably a rattlesnake. The encounter escalates quickly. One of the snakes, later confirmed as the rattlesnake, strikes in Dave's direction. Though wearing protective gaiters, the suddenness of the lunge forces him to quickly back away. You can tell by his reaction that the moment wasn't taken lightly. The close call clearly shook him, leading to a swift reassessment of his exploration plans. After scanning nearby buildings, including an abandoned truck cab and several deteriorating houses, he decides not to proceed further. A structure he initially intended to explore is dismissed entirely. Despite his curiosity, he knows the risks are too high. With venomous snakes active and hidden among the debris, he concludes it's not worth continuing, at least not until colder months, when the reptiles are less likely to be out. He wraps up the video with a reflection many can relate to. Snakes are among the most fear-inducing creatures out there. Whether it's their venom, how silently they move, or just the primal fear they trigger, even a brief encounter can leave a lasting impression. While the incident may seem minor compared to other dangers explorers face, it highlights how unpredictable abandoned areas can be. Nature reclaims forgotten places, and in doing so, turns them into habitats for animals that don't take kindly to surprise visitors. The fact that the snake struck despite Dave's precautions shows how quickly things can go wrong. Was this just a random close call, or do these abandoned places hide more threats than we think, both natural and unnatural? What would you have done in Dave's place? Let me know in the comments.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning right now. We just heard some gunshots go off.
Creepy, weird feelings at a camp before, and I'm sure it's just my mind playing tricks on me.
Holy sh! Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. This disturbing footage comes from Taylor Van Beek, a creator known for sharing his truck camping lifestyle, casual travel routines, and van life experiences with his dog, Lola. On May 21st, 2022, what started as a peaceful evening quickly turned into something far more unsettling. After spending the day outdoors, Taylor prepares a fresh meal inside his mobile setup, shares a few moments with Lola, whom he always ensures is well fed and comfortable, and settles down to stream a few travel vlogs before bed. Everything appears calm, his setup organized with the kind of self-sufficiency typical of solo van lifers who rely on compact living essentials and efficient routines.
Now that everything's pretty much cooked, we're gonna go ahead and take our taco seasoning mix, a little bit of water, and we're gonna pour it right on this mixture. So now that we've got all this meat mixed up right here, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna set this to the side. Gonna take our small pan we've got, and we're gonna go ahead and warm up our tortillas. Got the tortillas all warmed up, and it's time to make these bad boys. And this, my ladies and gents, is how you make the most amazing, perfect taco. Oh my gosh. It came out perfect. Just call me Chef Wonderful. Chef Taylor. Chef T.
Are you hungry, Lola? You hungry?
Well, I got some food.
I got some food for you.
Oh, she's gonna love this.
There you go. Is it yummy? Is it yummy?
Got everything all cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead and chill inside for a little bit, watch a little bit of YouTube on the old laptop before we hit this.
Later that night, around 2:30 a.m., Taylor is jolted awake by the unmistakable sound of gunfire nearby. It's a moment that would rattle even the most seasoned solo traveler. Recognizing the potential danger and knowing how vulnerable truck camping can be in unfamiliar areas, he quickly abandons his vehicle and moves into the house he's temporarily staying at, a space equipped with a smart security system.
The sheets. What do you want, crackhead?
What do you want?
Hello. Now, another favorite YouTube channel of mine is called Kara and Nate. If you guys have not checked them out, they are an awesome couple that travel the world. Got some pretty cool content. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the sheets for the night. Me and Lola are going fishing tomorrow. Just gonna let them hang out in the crib while I get the bed to myself. We are hitting the sheets. I will see y'all in the morning. Good night.
I don't know what the heck's going on, but I think I just heard some gunshots right outside my truck. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the house because I'm kind of freaked out right now.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning right now. We just heard some gunshots go off.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
And I have not seen any cops show up, so I don't know if those were actually gunshots that went off, but I think we're gonna go ahead and just fall asleep on the couch inside this house, and I will see you guys in the morning. So I just got a text from my buddy, the one that I'm house sitting for. He was asking if I was all right. I guess he got an alert. Forgot. He's got Ring cameras. The other one right there. I guess he got an alert because a loud noise went off, and when he looked back at the footage, there were gunshots that went off. From the footage, they came from that general vicinity. It's crazy. According to that Ring footage, the cops never showed up, which is nuts. I think it's safe to say I will never house sit for my buddy again. A little too sketchy.
The next morning, Taylor receives a message from the homeowner. Their Ring security camera had picked up the loud sounds from the night before, confirming that actual gunshots had been fired nearby. The footage even captured voices yelling just moments before the shots were heard. Yet strangely, no law enforcement ever responded. It's a chilling scenario that underscores how unpredictable things can get, even in what seem like quiet suburban or rural areas. While van life offers freedom, it also demands awareness, especially when it comes to personal safety and situational preparedness. The fact that the security footage verified the shots, yet no police showed up, raises serious concerns. Was it a local altercation that went unreported? Or something more organized that flew under the radar? It's a reminder that having tools like ring cameras, dash cams, or personal safety gear can make a real difference in van life or car camping situations. What if Taylor hadn't woken up in time? Or if the shots had been directed toward a vehicle like his? These scenarios highlight just how fast a quiet night on the road can shift into something dangerous. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. The footage comes from Nowhere Bound, a YouTube channel centered around off-grid travel and peaceful nature escapes. Accompanied by his dog, Juniper, the creator often ventures deep into the wilderness to experience the solitude and stillness the outdoors provide. On one particular trip, however, things took an unexpectedly unsettling turn. It began like many of his other adventures. He selected what appeared to be a quiet spot to set up camp. As he surveyed the terrain, he noted that the area behind his site showed clear signs of flooding, with debris piled high against nearby trees. It was an observation that added to the rugged charm of the location.
So this is the whole area behind our campsite, and you could kind of tell that it is a flood area. I mean, when the stream is high, all this debris is piling up on the trees.
As night approached, though, the tone began to shift. Across from his campsite stood an aged and looming structure, an old building that gave off a strange presence. Not long after, another group of campers who had been stationed nearby mysteriously left, leaving their tent and supplies still in place.
It's getting very dark, as you can see. I'm camping right across the street from that building. The people who were camping just left, but their tent and everything is still set up down there, so I don't know what's going on with them. They may return.
Their absence, combined with the fading daylight, created a sense of growing discomfort.
Gotta be honest, I'm a little creeped out right now. And this is the first time this has ever happened to me camping. I don't know if...
The fire wouldn't take. The air felt unusually still, and Juniper, typically calm, seemed restless. As darkness settled in, the ambiance of the place began to wear on the creator more than he expected. A series of unfamiliar animal calls and the repeated cry of whippoorwills, birds he rarely heard, only deepened the atmosphere of unease.
It's the building, or the quiet, or that Juniper is just restless. Once in a while I hear strange animal noises that I've never heard before. I think they're frogs. There's multiple whippoorwills, and I don't hear whippoorwills very often.
He ultimately decided to forego dinner and retreat into his camper, admitting to feeling a sense of creepiness he had never encountered on his travels.
So, I think I'm just gonna have a snack and call it a night. And I usually don't get creeped out, but we're gonna just get in the camper, hunker down, try to get Juniper to settle down, and I'll talk to you when we get in there. But I have a question for you.
While he attempted to relax by watching a movie with the blinds drawn, the close proximity of the building across the way lingered in his mind. It was the kind of place, he reflected, that looked like it belonged in a ghost story.
This is definitely a new thing for me. I've never had creepy, weird feelings at a camp before, and I'm sure it's just my mind playing tricks on me. But it definitely looks like the kind of building that could have a poltergeist in it, and it's...
The night passed slowly. Sleep came in short bursts, and the quiet pressed in heavier than usual. By morning, the mood had lifted somewhat with the return of sunlight. Despite the rough night, he admitted that things had turned out fine.
Well, it's been kind of a rough morning. Besides the lack of sleep and the...
He even expressed interest in returning to the Ring Mill campground in Wayne National Forest, suggesting that the unease may have simply come from being alone in an unfamiliar place.
Here at Ring Mill campground in the Wayne National Forest. It was a little spooky at first, but it turned out to be okay. We'll definitely come back.
Still, the mystery of the nearby abandoned tent, the strange behavior of Juniper, and the presence of the building all left lingering questions. The source of the discomfort remains unclear, Was it the Eerie building? The sudden disappearance of nearby campers? Or simply the psychological effects of isolation in the woods? Even seasoned travelers can be affected by subtle environmental cues, especially when camping alone. Could something have happened at that site previously? Something that left an imprint on the place itself? Or was it all just an overactive imagination fueled by the quiet and shadows? One thing's certain, some places unsettle you not because of what you see, but because of what you feel. Roughly a year ago, a chilling video surfaced on a lesser-known TikTok account dedicated to eerie folklore, particularly legends surrounding Wendigos and other cryptid entities said to dwell deep in the woods. Although the channel had shared similarly themed content in the past, this particular clip drew more attention due to how genuinely disturbing it was. The video, ominously titled Wendigo Encounter, quickly gained traction for being far more intense and unnerving than anything the account had previously posted. It begins with a man and his dog sheltering inside a remote cabin, seemingly attempting to detect a strange presence lurking just outside. Using a laser pointer aimed through the window, he tries to catch movement in the darkness. What unfolds next would leave even the most skeptical viewers rattled. Sounds of movement can be heard, footsteps or something heavier, scraping across the roof. The noise builds, as if something is crawling overhead, followed by the unmistakable creaking of a door being disturbed. Then come the rattling windows, shaken from the outside by an unseen force. The structure seems to groan under the weight of whatever is circling it. Legends describe the Wendigo as a shape-shifting entity that haunts the northern forests. In this footage, it appears as though whatever is outside is trying to breach the cabin, fully aware that someone is hiding within. The intensity of the scene is overwhelming, capturing the man's genuine panic as he scrambles to make sense of what's happening. There's no sign of other people, no indication that this was a prank or staged event. What's seen, and more importantly, what's heard, feels dangerously real. Some argue the video could be part of a well-produced hoax, but certain elements, like the pacing of the sounds, the timing of the dog's reactions, and the chaos outside, make it difficult to dismiss entirely. If this wasn't a Wendigo, what kind of predator or intruder could cause that level of terror and damage without ever being seen? Was this an authentic encounter with something unknown, or just a masterclass in psychological manipulation? And if it was real, how close did he come to something far more dangerous than folklore suggests? Either way, it's the kind of night that could make anyone think twice before camping alone in the woods again. Tommy, the creator behind the YouTube channel Tommy Dale, is known for documenting forgotten trails and remote historical landmarks. His videos highlight places long abandoned and reclaimed by nature, decaying cabins, faded roads, and the lost remnants of another time. His explorations often blend adventure with solitude, offering a glimpse into the past. But one particular journey would reveal just how unpredictable such trips can become.
Long before satellites watched from space, or helicopters scanned the ridge lines, there were fire towers. Built by hand in the early 1900s, fire lookouts rose from the mountaintops across America. I recently heard of one pitched high on the mountains, abandoned, and left to stand the test of time.
On this outing, Tommy set his sights on locating an abandoned fire lookout tower, an early 20th century structure perched somewhere deep in the mountains. Long before satellite surveillance or aerial patrols, such towers were built by hand to monitor wildfires across remote terrain.
Eager to find out, I wasted no time, racing deep into the heart of the mountains.
Eager to find this piece of history, he began navigating the rugged landscape. But the journey was far from smooth.
Well, we ran into a slight problem already. Just started to turn onto this trail to go up the mountain, and there is a tree blocking this. Don't know how long this has been here.
A fallen tree blocked his initial route, forcing a manual clearance before he could continue.
Currently making our way up this almost 20-mile trail into the mountains that hopefully leads us to the fire lookout. I have no idea. We're just kind of hoping for the best. But man, this trail that we're on is much more narrow than the trail that goes up to our cabin. So really wish I had some clippers. It'd be easy if I was in like a Jeep or something, but and my truck is a bit wider. It's
going to be quite the tight squeeze.
The path ahead was narrow, overgrown, and demanding. Conditions that pushed both his vehicle and his endurance to the limit. For hours, Tommy drove through steep trails, only to face locked gates, dead ends, and rough switchbacks.
Bad news. I have no idea why, but there is a gate in the middle of this and it is locked. So we can't get around. Not ideal. So I think we might have to go back down the mountain and take an alternate route. Which I don't even know. It's like blocking people from getting to their cabins and such as well. But when we were backing out, the bumper got stuck on something and this whole thing flew off and we put it back on. But it's totally broken, ruined. So
At the third time's the charm saying comes true here. If so, I might really start to believe it. It's been a little bit of a defeating day, but I think I have a good feeling about this. We'll see. I really want to see it. I really want to go camp at this lookout, but if not, we'll have to conquer it in another video. But I have hopes it's going to work out here. We are about 7 hours into looking for this watchtower now, and we are 8 miles into this, if you can even call it a road, in the backcountry, and we just came across what seems like an old home.
His vehicle sustained damage, and progress was repeatedly delayed. Still, his determination didn't waver. After nearly 7 hours of searching, he came across something unexpected: the ruins of an old homestead.
Here's the first structure that's closest to the so-called road, but it looks like from the outside this would maybe be a well house. Yeah, you got this big jug in here. It's probably the entrance to the well. Kind of crazy, big bird nest up there. Yeah, very interesting stuff.
Curious about the history of this place, I did a little bit of research, and here's all I was able to find. The earliest record of this place was August 16th, 1935. There's no cold hard facts on who actually lived here, but there are a few assumptions. The most obvious being it was the people who lived here that manned the watchtower and spent all of this time up here, considering it was such a hard place to access. While others believe that it was just a family who lived there for decades with zero affiliation to the watchtower. After almost 8 hours, we had arrived. All the things that we had been through the day, from traveling on these so-called roads to battling these high winds.
The site included crumbling structures, a possible well house, and the remains of what seemed to be a home, now reduced to charred rubble. Research traced its earliest mention back to 1935, though its purpose remained unclear. It may have housed the fire tower's original keepers, or perhaps it was a long-isolated family settlement. The full story is still unknown.
I'm gonna walk up this lookout tower for a bit here. I don't know how high I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go up a little ways because it should be a good view. Let's see.
Not ideal. These ones are in there though. Now the original plan was to camp at the fire lookout, but after seeing it, it was too run down to do so.
It's an absolutely gorgeous night, so I think once the sun continues to set and it gets too dark for Levi to continue to swim, which if you asked him, that would be never. But we're gonna hang out a little bit more and then go find some dinner, and I think we might find a camp spot somewhere here down.
Eventually, after navigating a difficult stretch of backcountry, Tommy reached the fire lookout. Though the structure was too unstable for camping, he climbed it cautiously and took in the sweeping views. Nearby, he found additional outbuildings, but none were safe enough to stay overnight. Instead, Tommy relocated to a nearby lakeside spot where he planned to set up camp and relax after the demanding day.
All right. The three of us are officially squared away after a long and exhilarating day, but it was a ton of fun. So we're going to get some good sleep tonight. And
I was looking forward to it because we had had such a long day. For some reason, I just had a really interesting feeling in my stomach. Couldn't fall asleep no matter what. So while Sarah and Levi were sound asleep, I laid there for hours. Something odd happened. I heard a car come flying down the road and into the parking lot where we parked so we could set up camp. And we were the only ones parked there. Kind of strange. Now at first, I was just thinking, maybe this is just some kids being kids. No big deal, right? Well, then the car slammed into a tree and took off speeding the other direction before eventually coming to a stop about 50 yards from our tent. And this big dude gets out of the car. He was clearly drunk out of his mind and had no...
As evening fell, the peaceful location offered a moment of rest. His tent was pitched, and he looked forward to a quiet night with his companions, Sarah and their dog, Levi. But as night settled in around 10 p.m., Tommy began to feel uneasy, an instinctive tension that made it hard to sleep. Hours later, his concern was validated when a car suddenly sped into the empty parking area near their camp.
On the horizon rolling into town. Now my fear was that for some reason, when those storms hit, he was going to get up and start wandering around. I don't know why, but that's just what I felt, and I couldn't shake the feeling. At this point, it's now past 2 in the morning, and I came to the tough decision to let's just pack up camp and get back in the truck before the storm hits. So and the storms hit. Thunder, lightning, hail, rain. I mean, it was coming down. And then it's 3 in the morning. I'm looking over some of the footage that I had just captured that day, that you guys just watched. And when all of a sudden, Sarah just said my name. I looked up, and he was standing directly in front of our truck, in the pouring rain, in the hail. Now he eventually walks by our truck, and I peel out of there and just drive up to the top of the camp where there's a rest station and bathrooms. And we kind of saw that they pumped their brakes as they were driving off and swerved around something, which was strange. When out of the darkness, about a half a mile from where all this originally happened, here he comes, walking down the middle of the street, right back at us. If we'd never got out of the tent, but luckily, we didn't hang around to find out. We ended up calling the park rangers again. They finally came out, and I believe they picked him up, and thankfully, nothing bad happened that night.
The vehicle slammed into a tree, reversed, and came to a stop uncomfortably close to their tent. A man, clearly intoxicated, stumbled out. Tommy remained hidden, observing the situation and eventually contacting local rangers, who, unfortunately, didn't respond. The man lingered in the area, disappearing for nearly an hour before reappearing near their vehicle. Storms were beginning to roll in, and with the unsettling presence nearby, Tommy decided to break camp around 2 a.m. By 3 a.m., the weather had turned severe. Thunder, hail, and lightning. As Tommy reviewed his camera footage from earlier in the day, Sarah noticed movement. Looking up, they saw the same man standing in the storm, directly in front of their truck. He would have had to walk through their former camp to reach that point. They quickly drove to a safer location at a rest station uphill. Later that night, they saw the man again, this time walking straight down the road toward them from the darkness, nearly half a mile from the original encounter. Thankfully, park rangers finally arrived and reportedly apprehended the individual. Nothing more came of the night, but it was a chilling reminder that the most dangerous elements of camping aren't always environmental. While fire towers and forgotten homesteads carry historical intrigue, the real threat in this story came not from nature, but from an unpredictable human encounter. It's a stark reminder that outdoor safety isn't just about weather or terrain, but also situational awareness and trusting your instincts. What if Tommy hadn't acted on that uneasy feeling? If he'd stayed in the tent that night, would the outcome have been the same? Sometimes it's not the places we explore, but the people we unexpectedly encounter that leave the strongest impression. The next unsettling story comes from Cursed Urban, a YouTube channel that specializes in uncovering the darker side of urban exploration. The channel is known for venturing into abandoned buildings, haunted sites, and documenting strange phenomena tied to the paranormal. On July 9th, 2025, while camping alone in a remote wooded area, Dan begins a nighttime investigation. Almost immediately, things take a disturbing turn. What begins as a peaceful solo trip quickly becomes something else entirely.
Can't make something happen, but I don't know. I chill out by the fire for a bit, and probably go to bed here a little while, and maybe get up in the night and do some more investigating. Not probably. We will for sure. We got to get some more answers. Definitely. All right, guys. Oh, in the tent, pretty bare bones camping tonight. I use a sleeping bag more as a sleeping mat because it is just entirely too hot to have it any other way. The ground is nice and cool, so I got that going for me at least. Oh man, got a fresh battery in the camera, that run, and we'll see what happens. But man, dude, I am hot. I am beat. I think I'm gonna sleep good tonight once I cool down a little bit. But all right, guys, I'm gonna lay down. So good night, and we'll see you at 3 a.m. Hey Todd, do you happen to be outside out by my tent right now?
No man, I'm just sitting at home.
Alright, well I was just sleeping and somebody just walked up with a flashlight. I don't know where they are. They just walked up with a flashlight.
Maybe it might be like a lost hiker or something, you know. Property is connected out to those woods.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't hear them anymore. Yo, dude, dude, somebody's out there. Somebody's out there.
Oh shit. Okay, alright, just hang tight. I'm on my way.
They're doing something to the tent. Hey! Dude, yeah, get out. Dude, get out here. Go. Dude.
I'm on my way
Alright, alright, thanks. Hey, who's out there? Yo, what the Oh, what is that? Oh, what is that smell, dude? Hello?
As Dan prepares for bed, strange sounds begin to emerge from the woods surrounding his tent. Faint whispers drift through the darkness. A voice appears to call his name. Then comes a chilling, animal-like howl, one that Dan suspects may be connected to Dogman folklore. Despite trying to keep the evening relaxed, the atmosphere begins to shift. The stillness of the forest feels increasingly oppressive, and Dan decides to rest for a few hours before continuing his exploration later in the night. But as he lies in his tent trying to sleep, he's abruptly awakened by the sound of footsteps outside. A bright light flashes against the fabric of the tent. Someone is out there. Unsure of who it might be, he calls a friend to check if they've come by, but they confirm they're nowhere near the location. Moments later, the situation escalates. The presence outside doesn't go away. The sound of movement continues, and the tent fabric begins to shift. Something, or someone, is actively approaching.
Who's out here? Dude, there's 100. Show yourself, now! Holy sh! Yo, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, whoever this is, dude, they just sprayed my entire tent down with lighter fluid. And I'm covered in it now. Look at that. They literally sprayed the entire tent down with lighter fluid. And that, dude, they were going to light it up. Yo, dude, they were going to light the tent on fire. And I like scared them away. Or I don't know.
As Dan gathers himself, he notices an overwhelming chemical odor. Stepping outside, he makes a horrifying discovery. The entire tent has been sprayed with lighter fluid. Even more alarming, the person responsible is now gone, having fled into the darkness. But they left the bottle behind, suggesting they were moments away from setting the tent ablaze. Dan immediately contacts the authorities, shaken but unharmed. What was meant to be a simple solo camping trip turned into a brush with real danger, one driven not by the supernatural, but by something far more unpredictable. While some might interpret the strange sounds and whispers as paranormal, the presence of the lighter fluid points to a very real threat. Whether it was a disturbed individual, a random act of cruelty, or a targeted attempt, the fact remains. Not every danger in the woods comes from myths. Some are terrifyingly human. Was this an isolated act of vandalism, or was Dan being watched long before he set up camp? And if he hadn't woken up when he did, how differently might this story have ended? Tonight's footage comes from Exploring the Unknown, a paranormal and adventure YouTube channel run by a duo who travel to eerie and often isolated locations across the Midwest, particularly in Illinois. On June 17, 2023, they ventured into the remote woods of Michigan, intending to spend the night camping. What followed was an unnerving experience that neither of them expected.
Someone gave us some firewood.
This is our normal spot, right?
Yep. Well,
What?
just all the stars.
Turn off your lights.
It is like quiet as well. Nothing inside. There's literally nothing. It could be us, but I doubt it. Wait. You hear that? Yeah. Give me the spotlight. Don't shine it till you're absolutely sure you know what the thing is. I don't know if you guys hear that, but there's something crunching over there. Do you still hear it? It keeps thudding. Ew. What? Fury kind of noise.
Upon arrival, they noticed something unusual. Both their main camera and GoPro began malfunctioning, despite operating reliably in much harsher environments before. This interference was the first indication that something wasn't quite right. As they pulled into their usual campsite, the forest around them was disturbingly still. There was no wind, no wildlife, not even the sound of insects. A silence so complete it felt unnatural. Moments later, the quiet was broken by the sound of heavy footsteps, crunching slowly through the underbrush nearby. The duo became increasingly on edge as the sounds persisted, shifting around them in the darkness. The stillness of the woods was so extreme, they could hear even the slightest movement. It wasn't just quiet, it was void of life. The atmosphere grew more unsettling by the minute.
I don't know what you think.
Like every spooky Mr. Nightmare story I've ever heard ever is like, I stopped and I realized I couldn't hear a single thing, not even a single bird.
Literally.
Like, I can't hear a single thing, not even the grass is moving.
Like, literally, guys, without exaggeration. Like, I know you guys heard it, but
Not a single, except for maybe one singular deer hiding somewhere. It didn't sound like a deer. Like it sounded maybe like a possum could be scrunching around, but it's just, it makes me nervous that there's absolutely no sound anywhere. Like,
now, granted, it is cold, but we did see deer out.
well, in all winter at my mom's house, you hear birds chirping in the bush all year.
Yeah.
No matter what time of day. Now, I know that's a couple hours away, so the birds there might be a little different than the birds here. Part of me, I won't lie, kind of wants to sleep in the car. Partly because I'm so tired, I don't want to set the hammock. Partly because it makes me nervous that I can't hear a single thing.
Like, literally.
Like, not even a single leaf rustling. Yet. It's chilly, and I know just a little bit above us, there's bound to be wind.
Like, it is deathly quiet here. That's very eerie. Look left. It's illuminated by the moonlight.
Well, oh, wait, listen. I thought I heard something, maybe not. What do you think?
I think that's not a good sign. I think that roadblock, this.
So what are we doing?
Not staying here.
Yeah, but where are we staying? You have to put your key in your door. No, you have to put your key in your door. Oh. Okay. If the car is locked with key fob.
Ultimately,
With no birds, no rustling leaves, and no wind despite cold temperatures, they debated their options. Setting up hammocks now seemed less appealing. Sleeping in the car began to feel like the safer choice. But the overwhelming silence, paired with the sense that something, or someone, was out there, led them to consider abandoning the site altogether.
we decided to leave that neck of the woods simply because if you know anything about the woods, you should know rule number one is if it is quiet to the point where you can hear yourself blink, you need to leave immediately. As we're leaving, as we're pulling out of that area, me and Katana, we were just kind of talking about, you know, what it could be, and I didn't really know, but as we're driving, I'm looking around and I realized that we weren't alone. Reciprocated.
Like, if you're not invading what?
Give me a thing.
What?
There are prints here.
I need you to vocalize these things.
Like
what? Like bunny?
Like human prints.
Like barefoot or shoe?
Like shoe, but like, why the f you walking, bro?
Like you just got up to pee?
No. Like, these motherfuckers actually like walking all the way down there. That's what I'm talking about. But right, that's what I'm saying. Once we got to the sandpit area, we just started unpacking everything and set up camp for the night, and that was it.
Eventually, they made the decision to leave the area. As experienced outdoorsmen, they recognized a critical rule of the forest. When everything goes silent, completely silent, something is off. Whether it's predators, weather shifts, or worse, that kind of unnatural hush is rarely harmless. While driving away, the unease lingered. Then came confirmation of their suspicions. Along a stretch of snow-covered ground, they spotted fresh human footprints, heading directly into the woods from a nearby road. The tracks weren't animal, and they weren't theirs. Someone else had been nearby, moving silently through the same forest. Ultimately, they reached a different location, unpacked, and set up camp elsewhere. But the earlier encounter remained fresh in their minds. Some might attribute the silence to natural causes, cold weather, nocturnal patterns, or seasonal shifts. But equipment malfunction, unseen movement, and the presence of unexplained footprints suggest otherwise. Could they have crossed paths with someone deliberately hiding in the woods? Or was there something else affecting the environment that night? If they hadn't left, what would have happened when they fell asleep in that dead silent forest? Was someone already watching, waiting? In the wild, silence isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it's the loudest warning you'll ever hear.
just using the torch here to Bug's that? Bug's that key?
Guys, my heart is beating so fast right now.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. Tonight's next unsettling moment comes from Kayla, a van life content creator who documents her raw and personal travel experiences on the road. On May 7th, 2025, she embarked on a solo drive from Chicago to Houston, accompanied only by her dog. After parting ways with her family, Kayla began her trip, juggling typical road trip challenges, minor vehicle upkeep, quick grocery runs, and a stretch of cold, gloomy weather. By the time night arrived, exhaustion had clearly set in. Searching for somewhere to rest, she discovered the nearby motel was already at full capacity. With limited choices, she opted to discreetly park in the motel's lot, hoping to stay under the radar and catch a few hours of sleep.
Made my way to the back, and I changed to something more comfortable. I had to put up the groceries because I bought Taco Bell. I know I didn't record it, but it was late and it was like right in my face. But I'm gonna put these up and make them tomorrow. Then move the dog out to use the bathroom before I go to bed. Lucky. Hi, baby. Put these right here. I'm not sure if this is overnight. I am not getting a room for the night, so let's see if I can sleep here. I'm not sure if it's overnight. I don't know if I said that. Yeah. I don't think I could drive anymore. I'm just so tired and I just needed to rest my eyes. Go outside? Go. I think he's ready to go outside. Wait a minute. Come on. Come on. Hopefully I don't get noticed taking him out. It should be a quick one too. Oh, but him doing that might get us caught. What are you doing? Oh, that was really loud. Paranoid. Sandwiches are still cold. Rocky, stop. Move. Move. Hopefully I don't get caught. It's being really loud. Let me put this here. Rocky. Shh. Now let's go in the refrigerator. Oh, got that in one push. I'm gonna enjoy me some Taco Bell. And then I'm gonna cook tomorrow. I'm too hungry and I'm so sleepy. So this was honestly a last minute thing. I drove 7 hours straight. I'm exhausted. I think we have about 8 more. Oh, bless you. I think we have about 8 more hours left when I get back home, which is really decent. You need to be quiet.
Once parked, she moved quietly through her evening routine. She changed into something comfortable, stored her groceries, and let her dog out briefly, doing her best to remain unnoticed. Every action was taken with caution, lights kept low, sounds minimized, and movements kept quiet. She was well aware that staying overnight in a place like this without a reservation might invite unwanted attention.
What? I'm gonna take a few more bites of this. And I'm gonna bring the dog back in because I don't want to get noticed. And I don't want to be kicked out. Use the bathroom. Go. Go ahead, Rock. Oh, you just want my food. You ate already. Move. No. Go. Oh, that was really, really loud. Oh my god. Sit, Rocky. Let me show you guys how I get into the bed. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm that short that I have to get in the bed. It's so uncomfortable. Oh gosh. Trying to keep the brightness down as low as possible so I don't get seen, but I'm gonna try to get some rest. I got a long day tomorrow, get up early in the morning and continue to drive.
Despite her exhaustion after a full day of driving, she took a moment to eat, check her surroundings, and prepare for the night ahead. The plan was simple: rest for a few hours, then continue her trip early the next morning. Eventually, she climbed into bed, doing her best to get comfortable. Outside, the sound of distant traffic and the occasional gust of wind created a strange but familiar atmosphere. For a brief while, it seemed like she might actually be able to rest undisturbed. But then, things changed.
You guys, there's a knock on my door. Oh shoot, it's the middle of the night. Oh, hold on, the dog sees him too. Hold on, shh. Oh, move, Rocky, move. I can't even get up here because of the dog. Move, baby.
You got a room here?
Excuse me?
You got a room here?
I was actually about to get a room. I wasn't here that long. I had to use the bathroom.
Alright. You have a room here, you got
Okay, thank you. Oh my god. I'm getting kicked out. And it's the middle of the night. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna come to the back at all. I literally just got kicked out. And I have to find somewhere else to sleep. Oh my god. I'm so tired. Hopefully I can find something. Like another hotel.
Sometime in the middle of the night, a knock tapped against the side of her van. It started softly, then grew louder, enough to jolt her awake. Her dog reacted immediately, confirming that it wasn't her imagination. Gathering her composure, she looked outside to see a man standing near the vehicle. He identified himself as motel staff and informed her that she needed to leave the property. His tone was clipped and lacking warmth. He didn't give much reason, and the timing felt off. Still, Kayla didn't argue. She quickly gathered her things, started the van, and pulled out of the lot, now faced with the challenge of finding another safe place to sleep, while running on almost no energy. Although nothing escalated, the encounter was deeply unsettling. Being approached while alone, especially during the quietest hours of the night, left her shaken. It was a harsh reminder that life on the road can turn unexpectedly, and even moments of peace can be interrupted without warning. While the interaction appeared to be with a legitimate employee, the late-hour confrontation, vague reasoning, and unfriendly tone raised questions for some viewers. Was it truly just enforcement of motel policy, or something more? For solo travelers, especially women, even a routine knock can feel like a threat when it comes without context or compassion. Was this simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or could there have been a more unsettling motive behind the knock? In the world of van life, when you're most vulnerable is often when the real story begins. Let's move on to the next encounter. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. On September 12, 2024, the YouTube channel Stay Haunted released a video that took viewers deep into one of the United Kingdom's most infamous paranormal zones, Ball Boy Forest. Considered among the 5 most haunted locations in the region, this stretch of woods has long been linked to reports of poltergeist activity, alleged druidic rituals, and unexplained vanishings. In this particular outing, the team set out to locate a rumored altar said to be hidden somewhere in the dense, winding terrain. But not long after stepping into the forest, things started going wrong.
No, I think I think we need to get up.
Yeah, let's go.
Right, which way we're going? Back the way?
Back away so we know which way.
Right, back in the forest again. My light's having a meltdown. I don't understand why it's flashing like that. Because it's fully charged. What? Yeah, all the trees are all broken. Oh my god. It's crazy. Yeah, my thing's died. Here. Fully charged light. And it's dead. What the hell, like? Oh, I don't know what this is doing. The torch is dead. Look at this. Fully charged battery, charge of 4 left, and it's dead.
Right. We're here.
Uh-huh.
I want to get to here. So the meat was the guy here, out this tree line.
Yeah.
And then cut across, there's a big path there along the water, and then over to this building.
Okay.
And investigate that building, and then drew it. Oh, there's maybe up behind it somewhere. Like further up the pathway.
Yeah.
But see, originally what I had planned was we came in here and walk along this path here. So walk right along that, straight to that.
Yeah.
But me and you
are
walked in here and
Oh my God.
yeah, walked way in that middle of the forest.
Jesus, that's crazy.
So we need to find
Their lights began malfunctioning almost immediately. Torches that were fully charged began flashing erratically, or shutting off entirely. The group quickly lost their sense of direction. Trails that were marked on maps didn't exist. Familiar landmarks like rivers, dams, and stone walls appeared off course or unreachable, as if the forest itself had shifted around them. Despite their confusion, they pushed deeper in, navigating fallen trees and thick undergrowth. A persistent feeling of disorientation settled in, as though the deeper they went, the more disconnected they became from reality. And then came the voices. Faint, childlike, impossible to pinpoint. Some in the group reported hearing what sounded like children calling out or whispering from the darkness. The atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. Even seasoned investigators began expressing unease.
Oh.
The little girl likes you.
Little girl! I can hear children's voices.
Right here, you know?
Yep, I heard it.
Hello?
Right, everybody, we have now just went in to do an investigation in the pitch black in Ballyboy Forest. We're now hearing stuff. This is crazy. Oh my god, he's seen something moving. There's not many people. Not many people that can say that they've...
See up there where your torch is?
Yeah.
There's like a shadow or something just walked across and moved.
Shadow?
Yeah, like a shadow figure, like dark figure moved across there. Right where your torch is now.
Yeah, there. So, we're going to do a bit of an investigation because we just didn't want to leave. Because we couldn't find, obviously, the altar and everything, but we've had some crazy stuff happen already, like I tell you that. And even on the way here, mad stuff's been happening. So, let's do this and get spooky.
I'm gonna set some stuff up.
He's just using the torch here to put the equipment out. Like, look at this here, like, see when I turn around, as always, if you don't believe us, that's what I'm seeing right now. Oh my god. The camera's just like, nope. There's a cap all over there, there's a cap all over there, there's a music box. Oh my god. This is crazy. I'm probably going to have a sit down here.
Every step felt heavier. The forest floor had turned treacherous, filled with thick mud, sudden puddles, and terrain that felt like it could swallow a person whole. But then, something shifted. A music box the team had set up, placed as part of their investigation equipment, began playing on its own. No one was near it. No wind touched it. It activated repeatedly, often shortly after they asked for a sign. The sound cut through the forest like a taunt. What came next pushed the group beyond fear. They came across a set of small, damp children's clothes, fresh, hanging from a tree limb. No one remembered seeing them before. The group had passed that exact spot earlier in the night, and the tree had been empty. Now, the clothing swung gently in the wind, as though waiting to be noticed. Panic took over. They decided to end the investigation immediately and attempted to retrace their steps. But the forest no longer made sense. Paths had vanished. Familiar points of reference were gone. For 2 hours they wandered, trying to reach the road, second-guessing every turn, every sound. Eventually, they emerged, shaken and silent. Back in the car, there was a lingering stillness. The team looked drained, mentally and emotionally. In the outro, the host tried to explain what had happened, but even he admitted things had escalated far beyond what they were prepared for. Ballboy Forest didn't chase them. It didn't need to. It waited. It observed. And somewhere within those tangled trees, the altar remained unfound. Or perhaps it found them. The combination of environmental manipulation, malfunctioning equipment, misdirection, time distortion, and the appearance of symbolic elements like the music box and children's clothing suggests more than just folklore. Whether it's paranormal energy or psychological suggestion amplified by isolation and fear, the forest seems to warp both space and perception. Some viewers speculate that it may not be a single spirit, but rather the forest itself acting as a sentient entity. Did the team truly escape, or did the forest simply let them go? And if the altar was never found, was that because it doesn't exist, or because it doesn't want to be discovered? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Up next, another encounter that may change how you look at the woods forever. This next chilling segment follows a return to one of the most infamous paranormal hotspots in the region, known simply as the Haunted Lake. Unlike previous visits, this time the host entered the forest alone, accompanied only by his dog, Kia. What unfolded was a night marked by mounting unease, strange disturbances, and a confrontation with something that defied explanation. Before setting out, the host references an online review left by a previous visitor. The post described being chased away by an unknown figure in the woods, an account he initially questions, unsure whether it was a hoax or genuine.
I'm back. I'm alone. The only thing I got with me is my dog child. We're gonna go camp out over at the Haunted Lake there. That's a place where a lot of paranormal stuff goes down. Now, Angelo found a review of some guy. I don't know if this guy was trolling or not, but after our first time coming here, we found a review stating that some guy came and was chased out by someone lurking in the forest here. I have no idea if that's real. Kind of seems weird and odd to me, but it's a legit review. Someone wrote that. I mean, if there is people out here or somebody trying to scare people out, then we're kind of fakey. Anyways, we made it. I've been driving for about 10 to 12 minutes down this dirt path, and we finally just pulled up. I'm maybe like a 10-minute drive up the road from Haunted Lake. I'm completely by myself. No other human is with me. Angelo, in fact, I'm pretty sure he's back in Ontario as of right now, as I'm speaking legit. And yeah, it's just me and Kia. So we're gonna take on the spot alone. I mean, I'm gonna drive up there right now, but the weird thing is we know that there is something lurking up in here. I don't know if it's a person, but I do remember when I came with Angelo, we went up to where the Haunted Lake is located, where the actual haunted stuff goes down. We were just checking it out, but I remember coming back to the campsite and our camp was ransacked. It was looted. Nothing was really taken, like nothing important, but somebody ransacked it. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. We're gonna have to keep an eye out for that. It's Kia's first time here, so what I'm gonna do is drive up to the site, set up the tent, have a little cookout, and yeah, take on the night, because man, it's gonna be another one of those nights, guys, where we don't know what the hell's gonna happen. Kia, you ready? We'll go for an adventure. Let's go. We gotta go up. What's up, baby? What's going on? No, we're not walking that way. That's the way back. We gotta go this way.
But the eerie details remain in the back of his mind as he sets out on his journey. After traveling along a rough dirt road for over 10 minutes, he arrives near the lake, noting that he is completely alone and far from any help. Aware of the area's unsettling history, including an earlier experience where his campsite was mysteriously ransacked, he remains alert while setting up his tent and preparing for the night ahead. From the beginning, the forest feels off. The air is unnaturally still. No sounds of wildlife, no insects, just silence. Even Kia, usually reactive to animals or people, remains unusually subdued. Her calm yet focused demeanor sends the first signal that something may be nearby. As the host gathers firewood and begins preparing a simple meal, he hears strange noises echoing through the forest.
Okay, so I've been hearing something down there. It's coming from that way now. At first, I thought I heard like a Bigfoot thing down there, but there's something coming from down there. Watch out there, Kiki. We're not going down that way. It's kind of sketch because I don't want her going down there. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let you go. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Just like that. Okay. Hello?
At first, they seem random, perhaps animals. But as time passes, distinct patterns emerge. Whistles cut through the silence, becoming rhythmic and precise, suggesting intelligence behind them. They resemble call and response sequences more than anything natural. Tension builds. The sounds are followed by deep, echoing claps and an eerie, drawn-out screech that freezes him in place. He begins to question whether this is spiritual in nature or connected to something even stranger, something folkloric. A series of noises continues, including what he identifies as a vocalization commonly associated with Bigfoot reports. It's loud, guttural, and disturbingly close.
Thought I just heard a whistle from behind the camera. It's coming from a haunted lake. The lake is that way. Hello? Oh! What the f was that? What the fuck was that? Holy shit! That was a Bigfoot. Okay, back. No. Come, sit. I kid you not, that was a freaking Bigfoot call. Holy shit. That's not happening. No, that's not happening. That's not happening at all.
The energy of the area seems to shift. The fire flickers weakly. The air grows heavy. He describes a sensation of emotional and physical drainage, as though something unseen is leaching energy from him. Goosebumps cover his skin. He speaks openly about the overwhelming sensation of being watched, of something hovering just beyond his reach. The flashlight begins to malfunction, flickering at the worst possible moment.
Man, I feel... Holy shit. I